you wanna go? Go to a place I wanna go. Go to a place. Do you wanna go? Go to a place I wanna go. Go to a place I can take you there. I can take you there. Do you wanna go? Go to a place I can take you there. Say do you wanna go? Go to a place. Search far and wide by your side. Far and wide by your side. Search far and wide.
Hello, welcome everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, okay? Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for taking some time out of your day. Let me scoot over a little bit. Taking time out of your day to join me for this discussion. Okay, let's see who I got here. Hello, Paris Dunbar. Thank you for stopping by. Please take the time, if you would, to hit the like button on your way in. You see your Annie, yes, she is rocking a wig today because, doing this workout thing, I can't really do a whole lot with my hair after a workout. So what I decided to do, I'm going to wear my hair as much as I can during the week. No, I'll probably be wearing my wig during the week because, again, I'm working out. But on the weekends when Mr. Randolph is I'll be wearing my hair for Mr. Randolph. So I want to get into the announcements. Did y'all check out my new intro? Did you check out my new intro? I want to say shout out to Lucky Maree, who did my new intro. And she incorporated the song by my firstborn nephew, Rhyan Spunk Adams, the new song that just dropped on August 1st. Noun, that's the person, place, or thing, okay? It can be on, you can get it on Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming platforms. Thank you. I love it. When Lucky Maree sent that to me, okay, security boss called me the town crier. I received that because when Lucky Maree sent that to me, I was just bawling. She said, "You like?" I said, "No, I love it." So the new intro with the new song from my firstborn nephew, I absolutely love it. And I have a new logo I'm trying to put into place. So I'm trying to get some things going. And as you see kind of behind me, hold on just a moment. I'm struggle streaming. Let me go ahead and hit this here. My studio / office, if you will, is under construction. Okay. I'm trying to move some things around, decorate. It's under construction, renovation. Because thank you, Mr. Tan. Thank you. So I'm trying to take it to another level. All right. I'm trying to take it to another level. So I have some little things, some things in the works. But again, shout out to Lucky Maree for the intro. I absolutely love it. I have to get some tissue paper. My nose is running. Shout out to my baby. My baby, my hardworking trucker man, and all the truckers like Lord Tan traveling these highways and the byways to bring us our much needed goods, keeping the supply chain moving, okay? Shout out to you. I have some stuff written down because I don't want to forget, okay? Yeah, Amy's 55, work with me, not against me. How is my sound? Put a 1 in the chat if I'm sounding all right, because I've been struggle streaming for a couple of days now. So please put a 1 in the chat if I'm coming in loud and clear, because I really want this conversation to be meaningful today. Hey, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so you can hear me well. Good. Okay, so I talked about the shouting out to my baby, the truckers. I welcome you with my new intro. I'm loving it. So with the idea of me, before we get into today's conversation, with the notion of the new logo, the new aesthetic, the intro, I thought about wanting to share with you, because I'm not sure how many of you know the reason why I named my channel Mosaic. Okay. Mosaic is a form of art. It's a beautiful form of art made of many colorful, broken pieces, different shapes, sizes, colors. And these are broken pieces that they are put together to make something beautiful. And that is how I view my life. That is how I view my life, that that I'm grateful to still be living. I view my life because people see me now, and I'm so grateful I don't look like what I've been through. You understand me? I'm grateful that the broken pieces were able to come together to make something beautiful, but it was not without sacrifice. It was not without hard work. It was not without heartbreak. But here I am now. And I've named it that because as I talk to people and they talk to me, and they are in their various stages of brokenness or healing, I want them to be reminded that you are a mosaic. Mosaics are unique because all the pieces are not the same color, same size. So regardless of your brokenness, I want to remind you that you are all works of art made of many broken pieces, but they have to come together to make the art. They just can't stay broken and scattered. Okay? So as we get into today's conversation, the first thing I want to do is I want to say that shout out to Security Boss for the interview that she had last night with Miss Tyranny. I had never met or heard of her or seen any of her stuff, so I didn't know anything about her. But when the video was sent to me last night and I looked at it and I was listening, and before I was able to actually come on the platform, I was observing. Understand? And so in my observing, I thought about how I wanted to approach it. And I want to start by saying, inasmuch as Tyranny is the one that is being interviewed, this is in no way, shape, or form an indictment on her. This is not about lambasting her. What I'm going to use it to illustrate is that in many ways, tyranny represents so many of us, to include me. And hopefully I'm able to bring some other people on the panel so we can further dive into it. So this is not an indictment on her, to her. And then I actually, when I came onto the platform last night, I offered my Instagram for her to message me, and I still mean that, because I see some things in her that I saw in myself, but didn't see in myself at that time. So I am going to ask you all if you will go with me, because it's going to be more of like a reaction, but in real time. It's going to be in real time. And I'm going to have some people join me to discuss it. Hello. It's going to be a reaction in real time. And I'm not going to say, there's not going to be a judgment, because there is judgment. We all judge. We all judge. But there is no condemnation, because we cannot condemn unless we allow ourselves to be condemned. So there is judgment. And let's talk about judgment for a minute, shall we? The definition, and I'm paraphrasing, the definition of judging is an assessment, an evaluation based on conduct, performance, information. Let's talk about, gymnasts. Okay. They are judged based on their performance. So there is judging. And I will be judging, I will be making an assessment, but it is by no means intended to be condemnation. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to be drinking out of my mosaic mug, and see, that's something else I have on the horizon. I'm trying to work this thing. It's still a hobby, but I'm still trying to work this thing. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to, like I said, we're going to do this in real time. And hopefully I've extended the invitation to hopefully a few people hopefully will join me later. But I want the engagement from you all as well. Okay? Because see, I'm looking through the lens of a 55-year-old woman. And this young lady is 30. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I said, you said 6. Was supposed to be 6:30? Well, I'm doing my monologue. I'm like, girl, okay, I thought you said 6. Is it 6 my time, 4:30 your time? My bad. Okay. But I already said when you're going to be joining me later. And so I'll be waiting. We'll be standing by. Yes, shout out to Lucky Maree. Okay. Okay, so it's 4:30 Pacific time. 6:30. Okay. Forgive me. Oh, thank you. I don't know what was going on the other day, Clue Channel. I don't know what was going on. I was struggling. But, Nisi Pooh, I'm just doing my monologue, and I've been giving your shouts out before my new, intro. So with that said, I'm going to ask that you bear with me again. Dadgummit. Okay. I'm going to ask that you bear with me again while I coordinate, because I'm struggle streaming. So with that in mind, for the 15 people who are, please hit the like button. So for the 15 people that are here with me, you get the opportunity to see what Lucky Maree did for your Amy. Okay? So if you didn't see it, you get to see it. And if you saw it, you get to see it again. So I'll be back. Hold on. Work with me, not against me.
Do you want to go to a place? I want to go to
a place. Do you want to go? Go to a place. I wanna go. Go to a place. I can take you there. I can take you there. Do you wanna go? Go to a place. I can take you there. Say there. Do you wanna go?
Search far and wide by your side, far and wide by your side. Search far and wide.
I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Again, shout out to Lucky Maree. She did that. She did that for me. And that is, oh my gosh. Again, when she sent that to me, a female just cried. So shout out to a security boss because I am the town crier. Because I was crying. You understand me? Okay. Isn't it dope? Oh my God. You know, see, Lucky Maree, that's what you call what Jamie Foxx, that's what you call putting some stank on it. Okay? That's what you call putting some stank on it. Man, and again, incorporating the new release from my nephew, Rhyan Spunk Adams, noun, person, place, or thing. I'll take you there. Do you want to go to a place? I can take you there. Yes. Okay. Again, on Spotify, Apple Music, and all the streaming platforms. But let's get into this thing. Nisi Poo is going to join me in a minute. And as I said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because, like I said, this is not an indictment on this young lady. It is not. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of him. He was my child before I had a child. Literally. Before I had a child. He's 4 years older than my daughter. So he was my child before I had a child. And I am so very proud of him. But this is an assessment based on what she's giving. And if she's listening, I want her to really think about what we're going to say here. And it's so funny, as I wait for Nisi Poo, I'm wearing something very special tonight. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all real quick because I'm wearing this watch. Goodness gracious. How do you do it? Okay, I'm messing up. Well, let me take it off. I'm not doing well. I'm wearing this watch because this represents, it's a Gemini watch. Okay. And I'm wearing this watch because it represents very special people that are Gemini, such as myself, such as my Nisi Poo, who will join me. And also, I came to find out this young lady. We're very special people. We're very special people. Okay? We are. And I know this. But part of it is owning it. And sometimes we just, yeah. Okay, does your nephew know about the Atlanta Jazz Festival? I'm sure he does. Oh, but I will definitely share this with him. I definitely will share this with him. Thank you so much, Clue Channel. So let's get into this thing. Okay, so again, I'm waiting for Nisi Poo to join me. We're gonna have some some conversations on this, but I want your engagement as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's get started.
And make sure you do that. Now, listen, while we're waiting on her, it's something I wanted to mention. L. Nixon, hey, how are you? It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. It's something I want to make. Looks like she's ready now. Let's go ahead and bring her up. Tyranny, you're moving.
Yeah, these kids don't stop.
Okay, how you doing today?
I've been good. How have you been today?
Uh-oh, I hear everything okay?
No, they're in there with their dada. He's going to help me out with them for now, so they're good.
Good to hear that. So listen, I need you to be still because I get motion sickness. So I'm gonna let you. Okay. I can't take it. I promise you. That's honest. So
okay.
You good?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know if you heard what I said, but what I want to do is I want to talk to you for a little bit, ask you a few questions. We're gonna have a conversation.
Okay.
It's totally up to you if you want this to be about you or if you just, it doesn't have to be. Because you represent, I think, a lot of women. So it doesn't have to be about you. But I want to have the conversation because I want us to be the best version of ourselves that we can absolutely be. Okay. We're going to start out talking about the comment that you made the other day. But once we get a good answer or, get to a good place with that comment, we're going to stop that. And then the next thing we're going to talk about ladies, women, or I should say.
Okay, we're going to be doing some stopping throughout. And shout out to Eugene because, again, you offered you tried to offer some sage counsel. We're going to get into that. So hopefully y'all have a little time to work with me tonight. Now, she said, the security boss said that from the onset that this young lady represents quite a few women. And I would agree with that. And again, I've offered that it was even my mindset at that age, even into my 40s. So again, this is not necessarily about her, but there's some things that are about her that we're going to get into. Okay, let's continue.
Wives, women, mothers. And when we're talking about those three women, you know what I mean by that. The mom, the wife, the mother. When we start talking about that, we're going to forget about men. We're going to act like they didn't exist. Okay? So whatever comes up, it's going to be about us. So whatever correction needs to be done, it's going to be about us. They're not going to be our equivalent anymore. Okay?
Okay.
We're going to be living in a world where it's just us. Okay?
Okay, agreed.
I want to deal with us. Okay? So, but first, let me go back to that comment. Wait a minute, before I get started. Hello, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, honestly.
Okay, good. Now, do you have something you want to say before we get started?
I just want to say I don't hate men. I love my women, and let's have fun. I'm ready.
Okay. Let's peel that apart real quick. I don't hate men. I love my women. I'm gonna let y'all marinate on that for a minute and tell me what you think. Let's go.
Okay. Now, again, this is going to be a conversation, but I may ask some hard questions. Now, are you interested in talking about yourself, or do you mind, or how do you want it?
I just don't want to ask any personal about my marriage.
Oh, okay.
But besides that.
Okay, sure. And I can agree with that. Okay, so we're going to figure out a way. It's up to you. You tell me. If I've gone too far, you say, hey, let's go to a different direction. I can respect that totally, because it doesn't have to be, like I said, I feel as though you represent a young woman, a modern woman, so you should be able to answer questions just in general. Okay? So first things first, though. The other day on Sage Talk, he got up there, he let you talk. I could hear you were nervous. You was talking fast. Another thing, you calm today. Let's keep it just like that. I'm not going to beat you up. I don't have a problem with you. And I got to tell you what I said too. You probably already know. But you made a comment there. He let you talk. You made a comment where you said single moms, you are the single mom. You said that men are projects for women. Tell us about that. What do you mean by that?
I guess another thing I should have said is I'm huge on the Bible. So that's where a lot of my references come from, if that's okay.
That is, before you do that, can I ask you a question about that?
Absolutely.
This is just a question for my knowledge to gauge where we are. How long have you been saved?
2014.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. I'm not going to get into a discussion about the Bible. I am a Christian. I am a believer in Christ. I don't know all the scriptures. I can't recite them. But one thing I know, God is love. Okay? If I don't remember nothing else, I remember that. God is love. Not God is love if. God is love when. God is love. Everything else, if you do that part, if you love, everything else falls underneath it. Let's keep it moving, shall we?
2014. So that's been, that's 7-8 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how old is your oldest child?
My oldest is 3. If he's a boy, he's 3.
Okay. All right. So let's get started. I just wanted to know, because, when people start wanting to use the Bible, I need to figure out, what part are you using? Are you using it against somebody? Are you trying to do exactly what it says? Because you know how it goes, right? The scriptures are for other people. It ain't for me. I wanted to make sure it was for you because you said that your child oldest is 3 and you were saved 8 years. So we can. I'm good with that. Because we do things that are wrong. I've done my dirt. I wouldn't say when I was doing my.
Let me be clear. I'm sorry. Listen, go get your cocktails, your mocktails, whatsoever. We're going to dissect this thing, okay? I was saved when I got pregnant with my daughter, too. Okay? Saved, going to church, read the Bible, was really into the word when I got pregnant with my daughter. Let's go.
Mine, I'm telling you, I wouldn't.
So I right.
I wouldn't. So, but no, you can refer to that as much as you want, because I actually had one scripture, not really more so a part of the Bible. It was a scripture that you mentioned. I saw in one of your videos, but we ain't gonna talk about it yet. But it was Romans, and in Romans it talks about the renewing of the mind. We're gonna get there, but we're not gonna get there yet. So no, I don't mind you making references, whatever you gotta do to make your point. But I'm fine with that. So go back and tell us again, what do you mean by men are projects? For women.
So a woman was created originally, and more to her than just as a helpmeet. So we were literally created to help the man meet whatever it is he's trying to conquer. So that's why I feel like you see a lot of people coming on here saying, or guys, not on here, but high value men. Well, we have to remember who brought you to that place, because you're not even able to get there without your helpmeet helping you meet your expectations or what you're wanting out in life.
Hold on for a minute. I want to address that. But before we get started, I'm going to have to ask you not to read the chat. Can you do that? I don't want you to get derailed. I don't want you to get distracted. I want to take away from this an understanding of who tyranny is. And if in any way I can help, or you can give me an understanding of who tyranny is, that's what I want to take away with. I don't want to be distracted, and I don't want you triggered by anything, because we gotta get that under control. That's for that's not a mother of 3. That's a little girl, and you are a mother of 3. So we got to get those emotions. So I don't want you, so that's where I'm at today. We're getting a hold of that situation. You ain't
I don't even know how to read the chat.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Okay. So listen, I'm going to address the thing you just said. And I appreciate it a little bit, but I'm probably going to need more from you. But let me tell you what my analogy of that is. I agree with you. I'm a married woman. I've been married for 27 years to the same man, and I like him. He's not, I did not.
It's very important not only to love, but like the person you with. I like me some Mr. Randolph. He makes me laugh. He's silly. It's important. Okay, I'm all over the place. Work with me, not against me now. Okay. I wonder what part. See, sometimes you can be so spiritual, you're no earthly good. You understand me? You understand me? Let's do it.
Feel like he was a project when I met him, and he's still not a project, but I do love him, and we've been together for a very long time. So I do agree with you. When I took on the role as a wife, my husband became my purpose. We came as women, we came from the rib of a man, right? So we are to be for the men. So when you say just a helpmeet, I'm not sure what that means, but when you added the other half is we're here to do whatever the man, our head of household, our husband needs us to do. I agree with that. But being a wife is very, very purposeful. Not a lot of people find fulfillment in that because we don't have a lot of good examples of it.
True.
So do you have, or have you had, as growing up, good examples of a wife or even a marriage?
Yes, I have.
Okay, good. Okay, so now
remember that
we've established that women have a purpose. And when you say it's much more than being a helpmeet, I don't know. I mean, I don't understand that part. There's nothing wrong with being a helpmeet.
Right.
That's a big. I mean, it's whatever my husband, who is my covering, my protector, needs me to do. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, do you have a problem with that though?
I don't have a problem with being a helpmeet. I have a problem with feeling like my life is surrounded around being one.
So you're saying you don't know your purpose as a wife?
I've never even heard of that.
Wow. So you said you're going to use the Bible to support your thought process. So when God made you for Adam, for your husband, for the man, what do you think the purpose was for?
So originally it stated that Adam was lonely. At first he created the animals. Well, the animals was along with Adam and gave him dominion. But then Adam himself started to get lonely. So then the Most High put him into a deep sleep and created the woman from his rib. So this is my take. If Eve was supposed to do absolutely everything that Adam was supposed to do or say, then there would be no reason to create woman. You know how they always say a woman has an intuition?
Who said that? Who said that Eve was supposed to do absolutely everything that? I don't recall that part. What do you mean by that?
Well, so if the wife was supposed to do absolutely.
You mean the instructions that were given to Adam were also given to Eve? Is that what you mean?
I guess I mean like the 2022 version of what people think Eve was created for was just to be there to do everything her husband want. It also says that her curse in Genesis chapter 3, verse 16 through 19, and it's like the very beginning of Genesis. It says her curse was to bear children in pain, which I am.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there for a moment. It is very, okay. I've always been one of those people that if I didn't understand something, I said it. And one of the things I loved about, shout out to my military training. I was always told, if you don't know the answer, say, I don't know the answer. Or if you don't understand, you don't understand. And that is okay. Because we know from reading the Bible, just not even using her as an example, two people can read the same thing and have two different interpretations. Okay, forget the Bible. We know that two people can read the same rule of law, for my attorneys out there, and interpret the law completely different. Okay, so that is another reason that I'm not going to really harp on scripture, because I have read the Bible. Do I have it committed to memory? No. There are some key scriptures I can pull out, but I'm not going to do that. Like I said, one thing I know for sure, God is love. You start there. Let's keep moving.
A witness, and then her husband to rule over her, and for her to desire her husband. Those are actually curses of the woman. So if we only take that I'm supposed to be, or it's just supposed to bow down to the husband, where you're falling in line with the curse. Okay. But if you got
well, that is the time of Adam and Eve, and that was the punishment for the sin, right? Okay, so then now we're in 2022. Now Jesus has come about, which would be what some call the second Adam, right? Okay, and he died for all our sins on the cross, right? He took upon all our sins. He became flesh and all our sins, right? So what does that say for you as a wife? Because I'm not understanding where you're getting that bill. That doesn't have anything to do with you now in 2022, because your instructions are what? What would you say your instructions are as a wife? Because what I think you're talking about is you're saying that all men are projects. I'm trying to figure out what is your instruction as a wife? Because remember, I told you we're only gonna be on men just a little bit. And then we're gonna get to what the woman's purpose is, because you said you never heard a woman's purpose. If you were made from a man, you would agree, right?
The rib, but yeah.
Okay, hold up. You see the hesitation there? You see the you see the hesitation, like, well, maybe get a rib from who? And I'm not going in on tyranny, and I'm laughing because I was like that. Well, technically, let's go.
Help me out. Explain something else to me. Girl, let me hear. Tyranny today. Make me understand.
Men are XY chromosomes and we're XX chromosomes. So it's not like we're literally made exactly the same.
Here, guess what? We're talking about God.
Right.
He can do anything he wants. Remember? The dirt. Who into life? You can't compare what you know now in these books and the things scientists have told you to what the creator did. We can't do that. Remember what the Bible is. Remember that. You're in 2022. What are you instructed to do as a wife? You said you had no idea what your purpose was, right?
Right.
Oh, okay. So I'm telling you, but we should, okay, I'm telling you as a wife, your purpose is for your husband. So I'm not sure why you're not finding purpose in that, because it could be an array of things. It could be whatever he needs you to do. Now you have 3 children.
I'm going to say the reason, in my opinion, not knowing anything about her, but I'll use myself as an example. With my first husband, my daughter's father, I did not find fulfillment in that because I didn't understand or appreciate my purpose or what the purpose of a wife was. So I did not find any fulfillment in that. I did not find any fulfillment in it, 1, because I didn't understand the purpose of a wife, and 2, he was not the one. I'm not going to talk about why he wasn't the one, but he wasn't. But I chose him. We're going to get into that too. Let's go. Let me see. Yeah. And I thought that. And see, it's just not today, because I thought that too. And that's why we're talking about this. Because when I was in my 20s, in my 30s, I thought that too. That I'm not just going to be a wife. That I want to be more than that. I did. So it's not just today. Let's go.
So obviously you all took on the purpose of being a mother. Now, are you saying that you would have preferred a career as in being a realtor? I heard you say once before that you were a realtor. I'm a realtor. I'm a realtor since 2001. I sell houses. Okay. So what is it that what I don't understand the project part for the man. What are we blaming him for? Because you don't have or don't know or have not seen you as a wife purposely. What does that
No, so I'm not blaming him for anything. It's just that you can't get lost in the sauce. That's just how I feel. I love when we were together, I loved my husband. One thing that I realized that I messed up on is I didn't even know what nurturing meant. Because I became a mother at 30. My dad wasn't there. So I was raised by an independent woman. She lets me know that to this day. So I didn't know what that to be in a marriage you are to nurture. Okay, and I'll take that part, or that. But
what is nurturing though? Tell me now, what is nurturing? We don't want to nurture the same mistake. So you say you didn't know. So what do you know now about nurturing? What does that look like?
So because I have a son, I know that just because you pout doesn't mean like that's your final answer. Sometimes like they get upset. You just gotta nurture them. Okay, baby. All right, I understand.
Let's talk about, no, she's divorced to my understanding based on what she shared. Let's talk about nurturing for a minute. And listen, again, I understand this point of view because I was raised by y'all know I was raised by a single mother primarily, even though she had me young. She had me at 17, got married to my stepfather, had my sister by 19. So, and then they didn't make it. So my mom raised us primarily as a single woman, as a single mother. And in so doing, there were things that she was required to do to survive, for us to survive. Okay. So that's going to lend itself to be a certain amount of independence. And you have to be strong because you got to, and when I say strong, that means you're strong because you got to make stuff happen. There's no time for crying. You may cry, but you got to cry and then do it anyway. So I get that. Okay. And I understand, and I understand to the extent that my mom was not a touchy-feely kind of mom because she was raised by a man, okay, a man born in 1910. So, but nurturing, when we think about nurturing is just not kissing boo-boos, although that's part of it. But nurturing is teaching, cultivating, guiding, protecting, directing, motivating. It is all of those things. It is encouraging. It is all of those things. And it is possible, without knowing her story, it is possible that she may not have known what that is because I don't know what her dynamic with her mom is because she's kind of alluding to that. But I can say what it was for me and what it wasn't for me. And I can honestly say I was the kid who needed more. I needed more attention. I needed more time. I needed more hugs. I needed more, you're small. I needed a lot more than my sister did. But I still had an idea what it was. And even if you're not completely sure, because I had my daughter at 27, you know that this person is relying on you. The person that did not ask to be here is relying on you. Okay, let's go. Now, I want y'all to talk to me in the chat if I'm missing something, because again, my niecey poo is going to come up here, but again, I want the engagement.
You hungry? You want me to get you something to eat? Okay, I know you're upset right now, but I'm going to just be quiet and take care of you. That nurturing.
You didn't know you were supposed to take care of your husband in that way?
Not nurturing. Usually it's just like, to me,
I didn't.
You're arguing, now I'm going to argue. That it's like, okay, who can be who? Oh, you want to go against me? Okay. But, sometimes it's better to, okay.
But that's good because you did say you were reared or, raised by a independent woman. But you also told me you had an example of a good marriage, though. Who was that, if you don't mind me asking?
My grandfather, my step-grandfather, but my grandfather.
Okay. So he and his wife were married to death, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay, so did you see them doing that independent dance like you just mentioned?
No.
Okay. So why did you feel the need to do it?
Because where my grandfather was a good example of a man, I looked up to my mother. Yeah, my grandmother was there, but when it comes to a mother, I looked up to her. So I just took what I knew from her and how she spoke on how to be in relationships.
Did your mom have a man in the house? Was your dad in your home?
No. She's been married before, but no.
Okay. So what, if you don't mind me, because I can share it with you. I was blessed to come from a 2-parent household, but my mom hated men. Just being honest, she didn't, but she knew she felt like she had a duty to stay within her marriage because she had 3 kids, and her husband was a provider. He wasn't the best in relationship with her, but he did all of the things he needed to do as a man. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Well, as far as relationship, she would probably give him an F. But as far as being that provider, that covering, he did that. So she, despite all of that, she sacrificed her own happiness somewhat to make sure that her kids grew up in an environment that she felt was healthy for them, like in a home, with 2 parents. He wasn't perfect, but we still got to see his role as a husband. Now, with you, we're not going to touch on it too much. You decided, I'm going to say you, but you can correct me. You decided that whatever was going on was not good enough. You didn't want to take the sack.
Okay, let's stop right there for a moment. I want to identify with certain things because my grandfather was the role model of what I thought a man should be in a sense of a provider, protector, etc. But in the relationship with my grandmother, that was one thing, but I did not see that type of relationship with my mom and a man. So to that point, I deferred to what my mother did. Because again, part of it is programming, part of it is conditioning. So I knew what it looked like, but I never didn't have an opportunity in practical application to see it on an everyday basis. Because again, it was my grandparents, as opposed to seeing it in a house every day, the male-female dynamic. So I had an idea, but no real in-depth day-to-day knowledge or interaction, if that makes any sense. Okay, let's see here. We got, I always say, don't fight fire with fire. Can you be my water to my fire? Ooh, I like that. Let me tell you something. And that's the growth part. That's the growth part, because I'm wanting to do this video with her because I identify, and here's the piece. You could not have got me to believe that I was sabotaging my own damn self. Hey, Tommy. Let me know if you can come and join this conversation. Because Nisi Poo said that you was going to come and join the conversation. So let me know if you can. So you couldn't have convinced me at that time that I was sabotaging myself. Because to that point, Tan, I'm exactly that for Mr. Randolph. And it's because I'm exactly that. We've been together almost 4 years and never argued. Why? Because I read my man. I know how far, I know when he don't want to talk about something. So guess what? I'll be quiet. And then I'll be talking again later. But if you don't know how to do that, you're going to keep, like she said, you argue, I'm going to argue too. Well, no, we have to be able to read the signs, read the room. Whereas in my younger years, I wasn't reading shit. You raise your voice to me, I'm raising my voice back. As opposed to taking the clue that maybe this is not the right time to talk about something. Okay? Let me know if I'm wrong now. Let's keep going.
Sacrifice. Why not?
To stay?
Yeah.
Because it would have been detrimental to the children's upbringing.
Okay, I want to. Are y'all looking at her face? Yeah. yeah, exactly. I'll be quiet, then I'll be talking again. Yeah, that's exactly it. But the difference is knowing when you need to be quiet. I know now. Okay. I'm trying to help y'all so you don't have to do it like me. Okay. And like I said, if she's listening, she is she is a representative of many of us. Okay. We're analyzing this because she's on the stage, but she is representative of many of us, myself included. All right. But look at her face. When she said it would have been detrimental to the children, are you all paying attention to the look in her eyes? I am. And what she did not say is that irreconcilable differences. She didn't say anything like that. What she said would be detrimental to the children. Let me tell you what I get out of that. And I could be wrong, so forgive me. There was some definite discord there. We're not talking about love, because you can love somebody and fight all the time. Even though, okay, you can say you love somebody, I'll put it like that, and fight all the time. And who sees that? Your children. Let me tell you why, because I already heard my daughter, who's 28, that's my dog. My daughter, who's 28, said on a show that she was happy when me and her dad decided to divorce. She was happy. We argued all the time. Even when we weren't in each other's presence, my daughter knew who I was talking to by the tone of my voice. My daughter, who was 6 years old at the time, after I'm had a conversation with her dad, says to me, "If you guys hate each other so much, why'd you get married in the first place?" She was 6. So when she is saying, and again, I could be wrong, but if you are saying, and I'm looking at this face right now, hold on a minute. I got to put him out. Just a minute. So if you are saying that, that means that whatever that was going on in the house, it was going on in the presence of those children. Even if, let's say it's nothing as, let's say it's not even, physical. Well, let's say it's not even that. Let's say it's yelling, or let's say it's not even that. But let's say whatever it is, it's affecting both of them. And it's affecting both of them to the fact that it affects how they interact with their children. I'm telling you what I know. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know because I did it. I'm telling you because I did it. Let's go.
Now, I don't want to get into that too much, but
Okay.
I don't want to get into that too much. Now, that is would your husband say the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, then you had to do what you have to do. But what made him a project, though? Because I said, before you answer that, let me go back a little bit, because typically people personalities are their personalities the whole time, right? Mm-hmm. So you should have seen something in the dating stage.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say you did?
That's what I took on as a project. Yes.
Oh. Okay. So stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
Get to something else. This is the reason why I made the comment to you to stop arguing and just be accountable. Mm-hmm. You remember on the, I think you were on Anton.
P.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it was Lippy because I seen it today and I was like, oh, she said the comment.
Because you were going back and forth with the men about something. And I was like, just stop arguing with them and be accountable for the part you played, because what I came in on, it was almost like you were blaming the man for whatever the breakdown was. But just a moment ago, you didn't do that. Just a moment ago, you said you took on a project. Now, when taking on that project, what were your thoughts?
You know, the normal, as a lot of us, oh, he's gonna change, we're gonna get married, he's gonna be a different man. You know, I know he gets angry now, red flag. But
okay, let's peep game on this. She took on a project. She just said, oh, he gonna change. He has anger problems now. No, see, that's what we do. I did it. But peep game, men take on projects too. Let's keep it 1,000, shall we? Give an example. Yeah, she liked the club. You know, she likes hanging out and going to the club now and hanging with her friends all the time. But when we get together, she gonna settle down. So she owned that. I had to own the fact that I saw things. Let me put it to you like this. The things that attracted me to my daughter's father are the same things I came to hate. Let's keep it going. I'm going to sit on that for a minute. I'm going to say it again for the people that are in the back. The same things that attracted me to my daughter's father initially are the same things I came to resent. Uh-oh. Y'all don't want Nan? You don't want Nan. Let's go.
But he'll grow out of it. That part.
Okay, so you are accountable and know for sure that you taking responsibility that you the one that had sex with him, married him, and had 3 babies by him.
I had sex with him, moved to Jamaica, found out that I was pregnant by him, came back and started a family with him. Yes.
So
okay, I need to stop. 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 I need to go back. I need to go back on a second. Let's go.
Now, red flag, but he'll grow out of it. That part.
Okay, so you are accountable and know for sure that you taking responsibility that you the one that had sex with him, married him, and had 3 babies by him.
I had sex with him, moved to Jamaica, found out that I was pregnant by him.
Oh, Nisi Poo is here. Nisi Poo is here. Let me do my applause. Welcome Nisi Poo to the stage.
Bow. I was having some issues because you started early, but we here now.
I messed up the time. Okay, so did you see the part I just played just now? I need to go back.
No, I didn't. But you don't have to go back because I watched it live.
Okay, because she's talking about she had sex with him, went to Jamaica, found out she was pregnant, came back and started a family. Okay, let's peep game on this. So let's talk about and had 3 babies. So let's talk about the sex part. So what that means is we had sex unprotected. That's what that means. And we found out we were pregnant
on the first night.
Yes. Okay. So that's what we're talking about. So I'm gonna play a little bit more, and then we're gonna chop this thing up.
Okay. And came back and started a family with them. Yes.
So we can't blame him for that.
I can't. For what?
Because it sounds like sometimes when you're speaking, because this is what I heard you say. These men out here in these streets leaving these women with these babies. Mm-hmm. Do you say that?
Oh, yeah.
So do you blame your husband for that situation?
Now, maybe if we wasn't married, probably not. But and I feel like in marriages, it shouldn't be that quick and easy to give up. I feel like you should continue to try. I feel like there should be some things that you should know. This is the thing, right? Miss Security.
You can call me. Just call me SB.
Okay, I'm not sure that she's understanding the question.
No, even in the interview, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, even in the interview, it just seemed like she was listening but looking for an area where she can be understood even further to not sound as bad as she sounds. You get what I'm saying? Like sometimes when you're in that space where, and there's people watching, when you know what you're saying doesn't sound like the best solution, and there's a judgment coming behind it or a form of accountability that you would have to take, you're going to try to answer the question the way you see fit. It's not always that you don't understand the question, it's just that you're going to answer it to shape it in a way that doesn't make you sound as horrible as you sound.
Interesting.
You should
Okay.
know, we be knowing better. We not stupid.
Well, I think part of it is a lack of self-awareness, because I'm gonna tell you something right now. There were years and years and years. Hear me now, years, y'all, that I said, yeah, I got pregnant. I wasn't trying to get pregnant, but I got pregnant until my best friend said, you wasn't trying not to.
Mm.
I said, what? She said, let's just be honest. You said if you're not, she said, you weren't trying not to get pregnant. You did not intend to get pregnant, but you weren't trying not to get pregnant, because if you were trying not to get pregnant, you would have took your birth control
You
like
wouldn't
you
have
should
gotten
have.
pregnant for the most part,
Yeah.
unless there's unforeseen circumstances
Yeah.
that can happen. I understand everything is not 100% preventable, other than abstinence, right? But
Right.
if you in this whole thing, you start out the conversation to set the tone that you are some sort of woman that follows Christ. You said that 8 years ago, which means it was before you even had this one night stand. Now I get it. We've all believed in Christ, and there should be. We're gonna have shortcomings. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna sin. But I think the part that she missed in this whole message is sin because we allow it to keep us in bondage. If you keep looking for excuses to reason with the fact that why you keep being in a sinful nature or justifying it, did you really learn your lesson, or are you capable to teach these children as they get older? If your mind is still like this, that means when your child is making mistakes, that yeah, you can still love them, but they need to feel the conviction of what they're doing, because that's where you correct it. Criticism and conviction. If you don't feel that, or you're justifying it where it's not that bad, that means you're raising your kids to think that when they do certain things, it ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a reason. The reason should be justifiable according to what happened. But what about the man? He was supposed to do this and that and the other. That's just what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, exactly. And again, to me, and again, like I said before you came on, I said this is not an indictment on tyranny, but she is representative of many of us. And I said me, and I said I'm wearing my Gemini watch.
Yeah, no, she don't represent me at all.
Well, no, well, she represents many people like myself included, because again, I was self-sabotaging. I was looking for excuses, like I just said, when I was, years and years and years after having Danielle. I said, yeah, I wasn't trying, it was unexpected. Well, it wouldn't have been unexpected if I would have been taking my birth control pills like I should have, or had him use a condom, because the truth of the matter is, like I said, after I had her, I never missed a day on my pills. You understand me? If I didn't take nothing else, I took my birth control pills, and guess what? No more kids.
But see, this is the thing in the whole conversation, and even I don't know if you seen her on Fight Club originally. I think Brittany seen it. When she was on Fight Club, the reason why her business is even a topic of discussion is because she used it as way to illustrate and be an example for why men leave their homes. And we were talking about cheating or de-discipline, and how she came in a conversation. She was mainly like, well, we in our situation, they didn't break up because he cheated. That wasn't the case. It was other things that he could have been doing. All the while, like I had told you earlier, but I'll repeat it, is it made me think, because she was so quick to say, yeah, I get assistance and I go to school. So it started making me think, even if, let's say her husband, the only thing he was able to do was give her a couple $100, or he was only able to make ends meet, right? He only had the ends. She had to come up with the rest. And let's say he just watched the kids, like he was watching the kids on her live stream. Let's say that's his thing. What is the government doing more that he couldn't do?
Good question.
You get what I'm saying?
I do.
But yeah, I was like, what is the government doing that he couldn't have done? So it's like, okay, she sounds like the conversation that we hear a lot that we kind of talk against, because it's like, no, we not. We not just all on assistance. We don't be thinking like that. You literally got up here while you sparked your blunt around your toddler
Wait,
in the
stop.
camera.
You say smoking a blunt.
Yeah. Now, what I'm saying is you're on camera and the toddler was right there. It's not even the fact that you were smoking.
Okay.
It's the fact that the presentation, the image that you're portraying yourself as her words, a Christian woman, a woman who it was her husband's problem, why their family is not together, and a woman who cannot listen very well. Are we going to sit up here and act like she was the best partner to be with in a situation where you can't even communicate to get her to see what her issues were and what she's talking about? I don't know.
Now, did she say, no, I haven't gotten to that point, but did she say that her husband was the reason? Because I know that security boss asked, why did you all divorce? And she said, because the best interest of the children, something like that, it would have been detrimental to the children. So I said, without knowing her situation, I was thinking back to my situation with Danielle's father and how we fought all the time, and our daughter was right in the middle of it. So we were breaking our kid. So, and again, I was looking at her face because, listen, and this is no disrespect to this young lady, but I see the tiredness in her eyes. I see the sadness in her eyes, and I see the dark circles. And here's the thing. I mean, I'm not trying to say it to be funny because it's not.
I know you're not, but that shit's still funny.
But I'm 55.
Yeah.
I got dark circles. I'm 55. I didn't have dark circles under my eyes at 33.
Well, now, I don't know what the dark circles is for, because she did say, she made it seem like it was an abusive situation. But let's take her words for it. I don't know. I don't give people business. Look. But no, she did say on Fight Club, she kind of alluded to the fact that it could have been a very unhealthy, abusive situation. She didn't quite all the way say that. It could have been emotional or whatever the case. The part that got me was the fact that if he was this horrible guy, you typically, even after the first child, right? Let's say like SB was saying, let's say that was the mistake. The second child comes, the third child that's not even a year yet, even in today. So when did the D become toxic?
Hold that thought.
After the third kid? Yeah.
Hold that thought. Because let me get through some of these comments, because I'm seeing some stuff here. Okay.
Well, don't
you say you said I'm trying to get pregnant.
Granny be so pretty.
Say, don't come this way because I'm trying. Listen, let me tell you something. And this is the part, and that's why I want to talk about it, because I understand. Y'all say, TJ, you think, no, I don't think I know, but I talk a lot and I know this now. Okay, if y'all think I talk a lot now, can you imagine how much I spoke when I was younger and really thought I knew everything? A man seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I say it jokingly, but I could get with the best of them. And God rest his soul, Kevin Sanders would have told you. Because in his fact, we had some moments in college. Oh, you understand me? So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's why you have to be slow to speak. But I don't know. I just think that the amount of delusion, I feel like in this interview, people were trying to help her, and I get it. But you also have to want the help and see that there's an issue. She did say, oh, I want the help, whatever. I understand sometimes you feel like you're bombarded with the unwarranted counseling session.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, in this situation, it's like you had to know what you sound like. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so funny to me. Like, I was literally laughing, and it was not with her. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel bad. I was just like, look, girl, I get it. Feel how you feel. If it was me, she'd laugh. Shit.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Okay. Let's look at some more of this video because again, you made some really good points here, particularly and and don't get me wrong, ladies, her children are here. So you make the best, you do the best you can now that they're here. But for the ladies who are not in this situation, don't do that. Don't keep having children because I done told y'all when me and my daughter's father reconnected when she was 5, okay, he wanted us to have another child. Well, I had already been a single mother with her from pretty much from the time she was born up until we reconnected at 5. And during that time, there was some this and that in our relationship in raising our daughter. So I said, and we married at this time. I said, listen, let's be a family of 3 first for a couple of years to make sure that we can be a solid family of 3 before we bring another child into it. Did he like it? Not particularly. But that's what I needed to do because, again, at the end of the day, I knew how hard it was to take care of the one I had or the one that we had. And I'm glad that I was resolute in that position because, unfortunately, we didn't last for the 3 years as a family. So without knowing this situation, she literally, these babies are stair stepping. 3, 2, and 1.
So do you think that just hearing this though, and what you saying, do you think that it's fair for a woman with 3 kids and issues to be out here dating?
No.
I don't think so either. I was cool with it with 1 kid. I'm off the dating market. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? I play around, entertain, but I am fine. Nobody will ever be taken seriously. I am a major capper. Okay. But if you seriously trying to be with somebody out here with 3 kids and you're saying you're not doing 50-50 or he's this and he's that and he did it, you have to know you sound crazy because the way you seem out of order, I'm just willing to bet going to your house, it's probably tyranny. I understand you could respond on your page. Girl, it's cool. I'm cool with smoke. I'm used to it. I'm saying at the same time, you have to understand that judging her objectively, I would assume that her house is not clean. I would assume that her kids are not disciplined because we're on a live stream hearing them. And even the father was in the background and he couldn't get them under control. I'm willing to believe that because her attention is probably elsewhere, that her kids are acting out in ways that they're probably physical. That's an objective assumption of her situation. Now she's going to say, you don't know me. You don't know my situation. I'm judging you. You get what I'm saying? Based on what you're displaying, I can probably assume a judgment that these things are not in order as a woman because the way you think is out of order. Mm-hmm. It's very unorganized.
And that's another thing before we get back into the video. And again, like I said, everybody judges. That's what we do. We don't have the power to condemn unless you choose to take that on. But everyone judges because judging is making an assessment, an evaluation based on performance or conduct or whatever evidence that is presented. Like I said, even with gymnasts, they are judged based on their performance. That's what we do. But the condemnation is what you choose to take on. Because none of us have the power to condemn anybody here. But we all make assessments like people make assessments of me. Some nice, some not so nice. It happens. So let's get back into this video here real quick.
SB, okay, Miss SB, you're coming to me woman to woman, elder to younger woman.
Right.
I'm being humbled and listening to what you're saying.
Right.
But I feel like with a lot of men, they don't correct each other. So then you're in a relation or a situation where Miss SB is breaking it down for me. But where he getting his info from? And now it ties it to one person bringing all the work into it while the other's just lagging, you know?
Okay, well, let me just say this to you. I hear what you're saying, but you can't be responsible for that.
Facts.
What I try to do, and I try to tell everybody this, you only can be responsible for yourself because the situation has already broke down. And you've already said too that I took on a project. You did it. So for me, that's you taking accountability for it. Once you took on a project, you can't blame that man for being a project. He was lacking. Oh. No, I'm just saying, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying he was lacking when he came in the door. Now, all men don't look like him. All men don't, when I say look like him, I'm saying all men are not like that. There are good men here. There are good men in our space that we're in now. There are good men in the world. And I just want you to understand that. Don't let him shape your mind about all men because you took on a project. But what you got to do,
and I've taken on a project. I'm just gonna be honest. The guy that I dated before I met Mr. Randolph that ended violently. Well, if I was real honest about it, from the first time we met, the red flags were glaring, and I did what? Overlooked them and took on the damn project, and then wondered why the shit ended like it did. I'm just gonna say it.
I kind of understood where she was coming from a little bit with saying all men are projects. I thought initially her perspective when she referenced the Bible, which means that us being a helpmate means that he's not finished. And something that's not finished, a person can say project. But I think in her situation, to understand the difference in a project and one that's not would be the fact that a project is going to be something that you have to build up for that person to believe whatever their purpose is. You have to give them a vision. You have to give them a purpose. You have to give them a direction of what they want to do with their life. And you also have to do above and beyond more work so that you can feel important while giving him something to do and trying to stay, okay, once he becomes this type of man, then I could be here with him. I can be this type of woman. That's ass backwards. So the fact that she thought that she took on a project, not even understanding that she was a project herself. How are you trying to give anybody anything and your shit not together? Look how y'all met. And then the fact that you said it was a one-night stand, y'all got married 3 months after, objective assumption, he married you because you were pregnant.
And that happened a lot, yes.
There was no relationship. There was no preliminary. And if she's talking about the Bible and on her position, once you become a mother and you were a wife, your whole being is to make sure your family stays together according to you. What is up with women trying to be in the goddamn front? If you with a man that you're not sure if he could drive this relationship and you're not comfortable in his car, get the hell out. Ain't nobody forcing you to be there. You slept with it. So once you had the baby, now this is my thing, and I'm not promoting, I don't know if you can say the A word, but you know, when you delete your child.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can say that. But if you actually go through with it, with taking your baby out, you know what I'm saying, that way, if you knew you just had a one-night stand and nobody knows, why didn't you get a plan B? Why didn't you do the necessary steps so you won't be stuck with the decision?
Well, she didn't. She said she found out she was pregnant, way too late for her to take a plan B. But again, so that's the
plan B is before you actually become pregnant. You shouldn't have to find out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to do it to prevent you even finding out. Now, I'm not championing the facts, but it's just like, if you've already done the whole situation, then do it all the way, girl. They be protecting themselves. They do all kind of stuff. And nobody would have ever knew that this was your mishap in your life. The fact that you was committed to it means that, like most of us do, when we start to be in a vulnerable state, or you're in a rebound situation, which is the worst time to be in a vulnerable state, you get with somebody out of what they can fulfill for that particular thing. It don't even care. It don't matter what he looked like, what he got. He's fulfilling this particular hole, and I need that. And a lot of the times, the way that she specifically talked about just having a one-night stand, I was single. That was her justification. Just means that you think with your vagina too much.
Her pussy. Listen, and you were single and you were saved, and so were the Bible. So I mean, there was some going on. So Brittany B say I took on project 2 but didn't know it. What at the time I was just helping. I learned later that's masculine energy, and he said right in his okay, look, and that's the thing, and everybody's motivation is different because I took on media project again thinking that I was helping. But one thing that we think that we're helping, we think that we're nurturing, but really what we're doing, and hey, if it don't apply to you, it don't apply to you, but it applied to me. After I got the revelation, I believed that if I'm helping, that helping you would make me feel good about me.
A sense of importance.
And that you, because I helped you, you would be not necessarily beholden, but grateful to me, therefore giving me what I said that I wanted and or needed. Because I was hoping to feel better about me. So by pouring into you would make me feel better about me, as opposed to feeling finding out why I don't feel good about me, period, in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You need the validation. Most of us look for validation in relationships. It comes from our kids. When our kids get ready to leave the house or in certain situations, we feel the attachment. When you get with a man, you need that type of attachment. I don't think it's anything wrong with it. It just becomes unhealthy. When you are doing, and I'm not saying she did anything as far as whatever she was doing for him, whatever her project was that consisted of her work, I think that's not the issue in it. You're just doing it for the wrong reason, for the wrong person. So it's like, don't just say what men not doing, and because you put all your good things and whoever you were to this particular person, that's your fault. Whether you have excuses for it, whether there's reasons, we all have to take accountability for those things that we played, those positions we played in those people's lives, to where then you gave him 3 of his children. So if you gave him 3 kids, not 1, and it ain't working out, let's get a divorce, that wouldn't even look as bad. If she was back out here saying, yeah, I have a child with my ex-husband, that wouldn't look as horrible. We didn't even need to know you had a one-night stand. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain, but you talking about it just shows that you're not removed, or you didn't talk about it with a sense of guilt, remorse, or just like, this is not what I would recommend. But then you got up there talking about Cardi B.
That's later.
Yeah, you talking about Cardi B. I'm sorry, she's married to her child's father.
And they still married.
You don't have Offset, and you not Cardi B, and we can't keep talking about these people because their music say one thing. You did what her music said, not what she's actually doing.
Oh, wow, that's good.
That is what
that's good. That's good. Okay, let's go.
Yourself is you got to get yourself in a better place so you won't feel like you need to take on a project.
Right.
But you say the things I hear you say, they're not gonna get you better.
He had a car, he had his own place, he had a job, no kids. You know, so when I say project, I don't mean a pookie, I guess. I mean, sorry, my cat tripped. I mean like work on his attitude.
That's a big deal.
Be closer to God, and you know, like that. Like I don't mean he didn't have nothing. I mean he fooled me.
No, he did not fool you. You weren't paying attention. He didn't fool you. You weren't paying attention. Peep game. See, I share stuff with you because, I done learned from mine. And I'm hoping that y'all get a hold of what I'm trying to grow you to. My daughter's father, again, because after we had been estranged for a period of time, we came back together. I was really seriously into my walk with God at the time, really fervently seeking him. And before we got married, there's some things that I wanted us to do in accordance with the word before we got married. Okay. So he didn't agree with that. Not only did he not agree, he started to try to make me feel guilty about it and wrote me this long ass email. And when he said words to the effect, I understand that you're trying to have a better relationship with God, lowercase g. That's significant. That is significant. And there were some other things he said that were not very kind. But guess what I did? I married him anyway. After he had already shown me what kind of man he was, what he was about, even though I had an idea because I already had a kid with him. Even, getting back together 5 years later, still the same type of personality traits, because we're not talking about car, place, because he had all that. We're talking about character flaws. We're talking about personality. We're talking about spiritual relationship. So all that was still there. He didn't fool me. I ignored it. What you got, Niecy?
The thing that just caught my attention, she went from saying how he had all these issues, right? Like the bait and switch. And the things that she mentioned initially is she mentioned the monetary things that he has, the materials. To say that he had it together. Where was his mindset? Was he looking for you to be permanent in his life, or was he looking for some ass? And if he just looked at how you presented yourself, did he take you seriously? Or did you think he was taking you seriously because he was willing to smash you? And then whoop, you pregnant. So you're trying to finesse him into a relationship. We need to do this for a family. We need to da-da-da-da-da. Girl, that ain't what I wanted. I just want some blah, 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 blah. Now I'm going to do the right thing, because if he married you and he, quote unquote, by your words, had his shit together, what happened to where his shit wasn't together once he got with you? He married you, because if he was really a deadbeat and he didn't have all his shit together, he would have just being your baby daddy and married somebody else and never had another kid by you ever. But he decided to marry you to make his situation somewhat right, just to get shitted on in the end. You know what I'm saying? To say, like, as if she was manipulated or abused in some sort of way. Like, I just feel like she was lying.
Well, there's always more to the story, I think Paul Harvey, you say, and the rest of the story. So y'all don't know nothing about Paul Harvey. That's old school. But anyway, let's continue. Let's continue.
He wasn't the man that you wanted him to be or needed him to be for you. He was not that, right?
I didn't know that until later. Okay,
so
you knew him a month.
So what question did you ask for him to get your panties off? Just saying. Because if you just
listen, no condemnation, because I didn't tell you. From the time I knew Danielle's father maybe less than 3 months, but definitely less than 6 before I got pregnant.
But see, this is my thing. I'm gonna just shoot it, right? Because I'm gonna just shoot it at her. And girl, don't take no offense, but look, you put it on the internet, we gotta judge you like you on the internet. I get judged, we all get judged, right? She does not look like a person that a man would have to lie to put on this front of how much he got, what he got to grab you. You look like a few little conversations and a nice smile, and we fucking. The way you was no way right about nothing. Men do that to women that seem like, okay, she kind of fine, or she got her shit together. Oh, I see. Okay. Like you said with your husband, you was in his top 5, but there was something there that said, if I'm going to approach her based on her demeanor and how she carry herself, I got to do it like this. And so you just go ahead and help them out, right? Most men, if they seen you out there, okay, I see how she talks. I see how she carry herself, whatever. I'm about to, what's up, miss? I'm going to put my best foot forward. Depending on what he looks like, what city she lives in, this is really not no shade. Depending on what city she's in, I do not see a man really trying to put his best foot forward to smash her. He don't need to.
Lucky, you just made Jenny, spit out her water. Spill her water.
Nah, listen. Look, I could have 3-4 kids today. Do you think I'm not about to take pride in the way that I carry myself?
Well, here's the thing. We have one child. You have one child. I had one child. We didn't have three children under 3.
We could name a lot of women, not even people that I know. We can name a lot of women that people know that have multiple kids and they still carry themselves with respect. I'm not saying the action is respectful. I'm not saying that you did not make any mistakes. I'm saying how you present yourself to the world. That means how you take pride in everything. If this is how you're thinking after 3 kids and this is the mature you, I don't know. I cannot fathom that the way you display yourself on camera, just chilling, whatever. Oh, because no, you were like that from jump, and no man had to put his best foot forward. Now she could, you know what I'm saying? She could find. Sure, I could be wrong.
Big Bad Bull said, I seriously don't think it. No, I'm not. Of course, it doesn't match my story 100%. Not at all. Definitely because I'm me. But there are some tendencies there. There are some similarities there. And the similarities is that what I chose to ignore. What I chose not to accept, what I chose not to be accountable for early on after I had Danielle, because the bottom line up front, like I said, I said I wasn't trying to get pregnant, but I wasn't trying to prevent it either. You understand me? I said the things that attracted me to her dad are the same things I ultimately didn't like. And what I mean by that, because he was like, large and in charge, take charge, and until he started to try to take charge of me. So those are some things, and they were in my face, but I ignored them. I'm thinking, oh, and I'm just gonna keep it 1,000. Wow. I was impressed with the package.
But you still don't saying you could be honest about it. Because you don't think like that anymore. I mean,
no.
I've got a
the lower package. The lower package.
I got you. See, a lot of times we don't give ourselves we don't forgive ourselves in situations to actually understand where we were. I'm not judging any choice she's made. I've made bad decisions. We're human, right?
Right.
The fact that you're making it seem like all 3 of your kids, it's just like when a woman says everything bad about how her child was conceived and then ended off, but my kid is a blessing. Kind of explain to me how, since you've had your children, it's been working out better for you. You know what I'm saying? And in her particular case, she said on Fight Club originally that she's struggling and it's hard. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you still have some sort of contact with the child's father. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's just, I don't see just off that I don't think he switched at all. Now I'm willing to believe that he may not have been 100% truthful about a lot of things, but I do not think there was no bait and switch. I just don't. It don't sound right.
Well, I will agree because, again, I'm not going to say it was a bait and switch, but I already told y'all, and, forget me telling you, Danielle even admitted that she later found out, because I never told her. Mm-hmm. She later found out that her father had a whole freaking life. He was engaged when he met me.
So when he met you, did he have to put his best foot forward, or was it just I'm about to pull up, or I'm outside, you came outside, got in the car?
Oh, well, shoot, quite frankly, I approached him.
Okay.
Because if I see what I want, I'm going for it.
Okay.
And I approached him. But see, I didn't know he was engaged, but he knew. You know what I'm saying?
I do want to say what Brittany B said. There is power. And a lot of times these women, and I think that's probably her situation, he probably put it on her really good, and she thought she was in love.
There's power in that thing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's why we were cursed.
We grown here. Is power in that thing, but just understand Just like you have to,
It's
just like there needs to be some dick discipline, there need to be some pussy control. I'm just saying.
Patrol, pussy patrol.
Yeah. Let's just be honest, okay?
Because you know how women get when look at these platforms. It'd be nothing but to us, to the majority. You could say, "Oh, he's unattractive. He unattractive." But when one hop on the panel, they look good. Women, they like hyenas. It's just like in the room. Like it's like, "Oh, girl, look at him." Oh, you know, the hot pocket starts steaming. It's the same thing with men.
I'm gonna tell you something, and I can say it jokingly now because I was in and when you're not doing stuff right, you can make it, you can try to make it right, but it ain't right. Her father, I was in the classroom, I was in officer candidate school. He was an instructor. Y'all know that's already bad. Okay, that's already bad. Fraternization. He walked in, I heard this powerful voice, this dominating force of a voice. And then I'm sitting at the desk, like sitting at the desk, and he walks down the aisle, and then he turns around, and I'm looking at that package when he turned around.
What was he teaching? Chemistry.
I don't remember.
Right?
I don't remember.
Hold on.
I don't remember. Okay, let's continue.
Did you get married first, or you had a baby first?
We had our son first, and then we got married 3 months later.
So you had no idea this person had this attitude prior to marrying him.
An attitude is.
No, I'm just using your words. I'm just using your words, so we don't have to get into it. I'm just using the words that you use.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't see. How long did you date him?
It was like 1 month.
Okay. 1 month. Did you just say 1 month? Did she say one? Did you really say 1 month?
I was moving to Jamaica, and we liked each other as we were talking. And right before I moved, I was single.
Love it.
God.
And I was saved.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what? Okay, now it makes sense. Okay, but you still married him after 1 month, or he married, but it became too much to handle. But we still had 2 other kids, so that means you stayed with him. All the kids have the same father, right?
Yeah, we went to counseling and all of that. Like we got fell back in love. I mean, but we just couldn't.
Okay, so why are you so angry then?
Angry? I'm not angry.
Oh yeah. Okay. You just be pretending when you be on the platform?
No, I don't like hearing the constant talk. Hold on, I'm sorry. I don't like hearing the constant talk about Black women this, Black women that. That's absolutely frustrating. Then we're talking about single Black women. What does a single Black woman have to do with the soul that you're supposed to be falling in love with? You know, I've seen men out there having 3, 4, 5 kids, and women don't go around saying how many kids.
What you got on that, Niecy?
Fix it, Jesus. Okay. She's saying that she's tired of the men talking about Black women, but they're talking about the Black women for the majority, that they don't like the behavior they see because they want Black women. You have a problem with them pointing out imperfections that you may. I'm not trying to be mean, TJ. I already was mean. It sounds like she has an issue with some of the messages that she can relate to, right? So that means that if a lot of the topics, because she mentioned with the P, if she's saying like, okay, they're mentioning baby mamas, they're mentioning certain things. If it don't apply, let the shit fly. But the thing is you really represent all the points of a girl or a woman that they say they will never be with. And because you know this, instead of you looking at it like, okay, how can I become a person that's more pleasant to be around, more pleasant to talk to first and foremost, because nobody in no space I can see can actually have a good conversation with her. They have to keep giving disclaimers before they talk to her. And to be honest, Like I told you before, it's the reason why I'm not a man. I'm not about to keep fucking giving disclaimers to your grown ass. You know what the hell I meant. We are not together. Why I gotta keep disclaiming so you won't be offended by words that should not be offensive?
You know, it's funny you say that because you and I were talking earlier, and I talked about that show that Courtney had when we need to ask what kind of men, if you were a man, what kind of man would you be? And I said, it blew my mind because when I thought about it, I said, the kind of man I'd be is the kind of woman I've been.
Hey, I'd be like, I turn it. I'm so serious. It's a reason because girl, no, because just looking at this, like physically being in front of her, I'm just imagining dating her and being physically in front of her, trying to express how what she did made me feel away. And God forbid I'm expressing it in a tone that I'm feeling it. How is her reaction back to me? Does that head start to bobbling? Is it you ain't gonna tell me what you not gonna do? Are you following me around? Are you calling me all type of things? Are you saying I'm worthless? I'm not this type of man. I'm doing all this and I didn't propose to you and I didn't even like you like that anyway. I like you not enough to marry you though, but because we got a kid, let me do the right thing. Like that's what I'm thinking of, even looking at her. Like, how do you respond in a situation where you need to control conflict? Can you tell if a man is at a point where his tone and the way he's expressing it, he's very upset. So you have to maybe, okay, let me correct it and let me talk to him and not at him. If you're too busy trying to make it seem like the way he's feeling, the way, well, you shouldn't be feeling that way because that wasn't my, or whatever your justifications is, you're going to get an attitude like you do here with people you aren't fucking. So imagine the person who is giving you dicks. Bitch, you tripping. You tripping in the house. You tripping like, and you been attacked. The dick got her gone. I'm just, that's what I think.
Well, I mean, and again, I talked about that earlier before you came on. Again, that is the growth. And that's another reason we're analyzing this because again, whether it be her and there are other people like that. And again, I was like that too. There was a time, again, if I'm arguing or my man, I'm not reading the room. I'm not reading that this is not the best time to try to, find out what's going on with my man or, if he said he don't want to talk, no, we want to talk about it. I want to talk about it right now. And then I'm following around. Well, what the hell why you know what? As opposed to just saying, just being quiet. That's that growth.
You can't handle being dismissed.
Right.
You can't handle it. And because you can't handle it, you start to feel, that's right, stigmatized. You start to feel away like, who are you to dismiss me? And I got 3 of your kids. I'm your wife. You don't know what you're supposed to do as a husband. Meanwhile, you acting like you my husband. You trying to get me in damn line. Like, girl, I think, is this a homosexual relationship or is this man and female?
And that is why I said the kind of man I would be was the woman I was. So when I look back on it in retrospect, it makes sense that why I had some difficulties in relationships. Because if I am a man and if I'm a woman and I'm acting the way that a man would act, there wasn't room for 2 of us in a heterosexual relationship. So that was a really good question because when I was thinking about the characteristics that the ladies that talked about on that show, I'm like, yeah, I'm that. I was that. Those are male traits. So it started to make sense to me. Okay, let's continue.
You got.
Tyranny, these are the questions you should have been asking in that month when you was already getting married. This is important. And the things that people are saying about Black women are most of the time very, very true. They're true. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Tell me one thing that you have heard that is not true. Just give me one.
To not be with one?
Well, who said don't be with one? I've never heard don't be with Black women. I've heard that women are hard. Black is hard to find, but I've never heard don't be with Black women. That's your preference, though. I don't push preferences. I mean, if you have a preference, if a man has a preference, white woman, Hispanic woman, Asian woman, I don't care about that. But to say you're hearing men say don't be with Black women at all.
Yeah, I've definitely. When you see me on the Lapeef show, that's exactly what I had. Oh, sorry, that's exactly what I had. That's what they talk about. don't date single black women. They ain't this, they ain't that. Okay, was a single black mother that raised you. I'm not understanding what you're talking about. You had a single black grandmother that you went to every weekend. Your auntie loved you loved your auntie pies. We can't just subject this to black women.
Okay, but listen, it's not all black women. They're saying there's a certain group of black women that don't meet their standards. They're twerking. They are having sneaky links. They're doing all kinds of videos on Instagram. They're just not suitable for being their wives. They're not suitable to date. That's who they're talking about. They're not talking about the whole black race of women. They're just talking about a certain woman, or they may be overweight. They may be argumentative. They may talk like men. They may be aggressive. That's the woman that they're talking about. They're not saying all black women. It's talking about a certain group of women, or a certain type of woman, I should say. It's not all women.
Well, it's not all. But see, when you see, y'all need to understand your moms and grandmoms was trash. Why would another black woman say that? Knowing the struggle that we go through.
Wait a minute.
We didn't have the fathers in the home to teach us. We don't have any.
Okay, before we dissect this.
Yes, thank you. CJ, here, stop it right.
Okay. Tana said, TJ, I've dealt with women like you when you were younger, but when I didn't fight fire with fire and just smiled, I always eased the girl's attitude. So do you think the right man could have turned? Yeah. Well, you know what? No, because again, I would be, I would press it. I would press it because I wanted to, again, that's the kind of young woman that, Kevin was talking about, because again, I was on the campus. I'm like, damn it, you're going to talk to me and you're going to hear what I have to say, damn it. But again, I didn't know I was jacked up. That's key. I didn't know I was jacked up, because right now, absolutely. Now, like sometimes, like on the other night when I had to get with that person on Black Men Unfiltered panel, because I have softened up, but don't let the smooth taste fool you. I'm still a work in progress. God ain't done with me yet. But when it comes to Mr. Randolph, absolutely. I yield 1,000%. He don't have to, he don't yell, he don't have to raise his voice, he don't curse, none of that, because I get the clue. But back then I didn't take the clue. Hold on just a second. One second. So yeah, back then, no. You gonna hear me and hear me now. And yeah. And I did not get that it was masculine. I thought it was being strong, and I thought that was a good thing. Hold on one moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't think it's a man with patience. I think a man has the authority, and I think that they're created to be able to do that. Anytime you're not in the presence of a dominant male, it does make a woman feel like she has to compensate, and there's something in us, just like a female lion. She's gonna test and smell the weakness, right?
Ooh,
but I think in a situation where she's trying to say, your mother was a single mom, you're this, that, and the other. I used to feel that way too, and I started to hear it. Is that just because your mother was that way does not mean I should have to date somebody that was like my mother. If we're talking about a certain generation of people, most people in general feel like that generation has failed them in some sort of way, saying if my parents have told me this, if I had this type of exposure to this, maybe I would have turned out differently, right? It don't fucking matter if my dad was this and that and the other. If I don't want a man like my father, that's just that on that. I don't care what they were. I don't want to date nobody like that. I don't want to date nobody like you. And I don't even know, they were saying like her child's father or whatever is something. I don't know what nationality he is, but it was like
Guatemalan. I think he said Guatemalan.
Yeah, so it's like you talking about what black men is. Go back to Guatemalan men. Why are you all up in here in black love conversation if you can divest? So I don't even understand her trying to conflate what her husband did, he's Guatemalan. How are you trying to relate that to Black men? Give us your experience with Black men repeatedly that have made you feel away or got you this perspective, or are you just trying to speak from hearing these conversations and you just feeling away, or are you just been programmed to feel away when you see these type of things from your own mother or whoever raised you? Who raised you? Because we all know if you in a family, the first time you get pregnant, if you from a good family that's strict of some sort of way, you feel convicted to even tell them you having a baby out of wedlock. That judgment they about to put on you, you gonna feel it, let alone another child and another child. But she was married, so I understand that judgment. But you still get that conviction once the reason of you leaving your husband is on some bullshit. It ain't been nothing. They gonna be like, so you about to just
And again, listen up. We're analyzing this situation because she is out there. But trust and believe, this does not just apply to tyranny. It applies to many women on different avenues. Let me read a couple of now I'm going to drop the link. This link is for Tommy B, because we got
to give Tommy his flowers.
Yeah, we got it. This is for Tommy B. If you're on here, so come on through, nephew, Tommy B. Good, okay, hold on a second. My dog he's whining. Hold on just a second. Come on, Tommy.
And she was going off on Sherelle for saying our grandmothers is trash.
Oh, really? Who said that? Oh, well.
Yeah, Sherelle.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's get back into it because we're going to bring Tommy, when Tommy B gets up here, because I know we want to get the male's perspective on this thing too. So let's continue.
Elder women to teach us. So we're just grown up as we know. And then when you have another sister talking, see, there's a bro code and there's also a woman code. And we should know. We don't talk down on another woman because of our struggles. Yes, there's some girls out there twerking.
Slow down, because we got
your thoughts on that?
She said we have bro codes and then what?
Woman code. So basically sister code. And
I thought she said bro code.
She said bro codes. You said hoe?
I thought she said bro codes.
No, she said bro codes and woman codes.
Yeah, we
basically do. Sister code.
I don't think it's anything wrong with any of the codes. I think her perspective was, in the code, you're not holding each other accountable, and it just depends on what group.
Yeah,
because sometimes the behaviors of your counterparts can affect you and your business and where you are. But if you just talking about ain't shit niggas, no, they're not.
And again, I'm not gonna, yes, I'm believing the sister code, but I'm not gonna co-sign on no bullshit. I'm just not doing that.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna co-sign on no BS.
That package cannot be delivered. Absolutely.
Okay. Hey, Tommy.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, what's going on?
Shout out to the hard-working trucker man.
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Trying to dissect this thing.
Did you watch this yesterday, Tommy?
I watched some of it. It was interesting. I agree with you that she definitely does represent a lot of this generation women with a lot of the stuff that she says. And to be honest with you, it's just people in general in this generation. It's just the lack of accountability is crazy. It's just always trying to push it off on the next person. And I think, like for me in my situation, me and my kid's mom just got back together, but that's one thing, like me and her was able to kind of identify the stuff that we messed up in a relationship instead of trying to point at each other and,
Hold on, Tommy. You get the applause. Hold on, Tommy.
I'm going to just go ahead and say I encourage that, but yeah, go ahead. Even if I don't get
Yeah.
I said she sure did, but it was a mix of a lot of stuff. Me and Lucky talked. I had one of my best friends from the military. He was in my ear for a minute about it. I actually started thinking about it off of Kevin Samuels, like watching some of his videos and seeing what he was talking about. and that's what even put the idea in my head. But I mean, another big thing we both did too is we both went to therapy, and I guess you say like, because I the reason why we I had talked to Lucky about this, but I think after kind of analyzing what happened, a big reason why we broke up was because I think she was going through postpartum after we had my son. And you know, like I told Lucky, I said, you know, we recognize what the women go through with postpartum, but nobody cares about what the man is going through when she's going crazy and she don't know why. And I'm over there and I don't know why. I just know you acting different and you waking up and you don't like me and this, that, and the other. And so after kind of analyzing that stuff, and to be honest with you, after hearing her is probably what happened with her, because see, me and her had back to back. You know, I got a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. She got a 1, 2, and 3-year-old. And listen to me,
Right.
I don't even pray, and I'll pray for her, because this 1 and 2-year-old is kicking my ass. So I understand why she got them dark circles and stuff, especially if dude ain't around, you know, a lot. Because man, you have a one. Well, I think Lucky said one of them not even one. So if you know, you got a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and one that's not even one, like that's stress. You know what I'm saying? So and that could bring a lot of stress to the relationship. Because it's a lot. These kids be whooping my ass sometimes. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Do you think that? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think in her situation, because we did talk a lot about people getting back with who they was with and other stuff, because it just be problems. Like, it's not even problems necessarily on your end. You can do all the work and have a child. It's problems because you have a child and you're not supposed to just be thinking for yourself. Do you think that she's the type of person that could get back with her child's father, or she's the reason why most men are not getting back with their child's mother?
She would have to be able to be accountable to be able to do that. And like one of the biggest things, like I had told her, was that she had to go to therapy before we even entertained getting back together. And she went. You know, I actually went first. And I don't know if that's like a leadership thing or whatever, but I knew I had stuff, you know, that I had to work out or whatever. And when I went to therapy, I found out a lot of stuff that I was dealing with that I didn't know I was dealing with, and that I was bringing into relationships, why I left relationships so quick, all kind of stuff. So, and then even with her, when she went to therapy, like, it's a huge difference in her demeanor, how she handles stuff and all of that stuff. So, that was the biggest thing, is I told her, you know, if you go to therapy, I'll entertain it. And then I left it at that. I'm not about to beg you. I ain't going to call you every week. I just put it out there. And then if you do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. And she ended up going, and I respected it. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, we rocking out again. But I think it's also difference too, is I ain't know her no 1 month. You know, so that's another difference too. I think a lot of what y'all saying is true, because like I got female friends that, you know, I converse with, and they'll call me for advice. And one thing I tell people is, like, once a woman gets hooked on a dude, see a potential or whatever, it's damn near no reason to even talk to them no more, because they gonna fight you. And y'all, and I tell people all the time, like, I ain't about to argue with you about no dude. Like, okay, cool. And I ain't gonna lie to you, 9.5 out of 10 times, you know, they'll end up calling me back going, oh, you was right. Because a lot of times, and this goes for men too, like when you get them goo goo gaga eyes, you run straight past the red flags. And you know, it's crazy she said what she said. I think everybody's a project. It's one thing that I especially in our community, I tell people all the time, everybody, I ain't gonna say everybody, but most people in our community probably need some type of therapy. So you got a lot of people out here that need therapy. And you know, I was lucky enough, I went to the military, so I was able to get on for the free. But it, you know, say that as if it's, you know, it costs $15 to go get therapy. Like, it's if you go get therapy, you know, turn stuff in order. But I think you got a bunch of people on both sides, men and women, who need therapy, and you're trying to make a relationship work. You don't need therapy to make a relationship work. You already got stuff going on in your head that you need to get fixed, and you ain't getting that done. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I'm driving, so I'm
Well, real quick, you make a good point, because even when I talk about my situation with my ex-husband, you know, before I decided to file for divorce, one of the things I wanted to do was go to therapy as a couple. Now, again, this is before I had my own diagnosis. So there were some things that I was dealing with that I didn't even know that, you know, I had a mental health issue. But I wanted us to try to go to therapy as a couple, and he didn't want to do that. So you have, you know, you can't, one thing about a relationship, you can't want it bad enough for two people. And that's for sure. Hey, Tommy, can you hang out with us? Let's listen to more of some of this discussion here.
Struggle is mostly self-inflicted. So you tell me, yes, because guess what? I was a single mother. I made a mistake. I had sex with a man who was my fiance before he was my husband. It did not work. Now, I had made a huge mistake. I know that. I did not like the way I felt. I didn't like anything about myself at that moment. I was never going to be in that situation ever again. It wasn't cute. It wasn't good. It wasn't healthy. I was wrong. Mindset totally changed about sex, about men, about my life, and how I saw myself. It changed. That was not my husband.
But you have to learn that.
I did. That's what learned it. I learned it. And I said, no, never again. The problem with some of our women in the Black community, single women, they don't learn that. And they'll have baby number one. No, listen. They'll have baby number one, which could be a mistake. Just like I said I had. But they don't account for it. They'll say, this man got me pregnant. Instead of saying, I screwed this man, and as a result, I got pregnant. Because ultimately, you're the one that said we're going to go to the scriptures. We're going to be the Bible. Ultimately, a woman shouldn't be having premarital sex. Ultimately, right? We should not.
Right.
So if we make a mistake, and we do, when is the conviction going to come over us and say, dang, I shouldn't have done this. Now I see where I'm at. I don't like this. When is it going to come up?
When we're ready for it to. You can't force anybody to learn anything, huh?
No, I'm talking about the women who
I gotta
that
stop.
they are.
Okay, look, I gotta stop. See, here's, is it me, or do you see the ambivalence that's in that answer when they're ready to?
I just love your word shuffle. Go ahead.
I mean, when we're ready to, when we're ready to, is that 4, 5, 6, 7 kids down the line, or is it, you know? And again, I understand it, because again, I done told y'all I have a scar on my knee that will be there, because again, I didn't get some stuff. But one thing, when you bring children into it, it's not about you anymore. You can't afford to say okay, help me out, Nisa. Help me out, Tommy.
She's very delusional in a way to think. Now, I'm one to believe that there is healing in delusion. In certain cases, there was a study, right? There was a study that showed that for women who become extreme, or just people in general that become extremely depressed, one of the therapy sessions or exercise that they tell you to do is picture yourself in different situations. Start to live there. Once you're in a mental space where you think you're there, it's supposed to help you with your subconscious to kind of already say, okay, subconsciously, I'm influencing my subconscious mind to think that I'm here. So then it should start playing out in your real life to where you start to display and carry yourself. It's just like they say, act rich before you actually become rich. That means you want to be able to control what's attracted to you. So for her to say that it can happen without in her type of delusion, it doesn't really seem like there's any work that she sees needs to be done at this moment, or just the fact that she needs a kid. It's more so trying to argue with what the fact that what her job is. And it's just like she has a lot of eyes and you have children. So just when your children are growing up and you have little babies and they're seeing you have all your attention towards other things in yourself, it when I say objectively, just by her conversation, I'm starting to assume, do you think about yourself in every situation? Do you feed yourself first? Do you think about your child's needs a warm meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? You know, I think of all those things. Do you put your child first? And I'm willing to believe no. So the reason why I asked Tommy that was because we could talk a lot about people getting back with who they had children, but I think that's what we should do. That's who you have a family with. You're working overtime to justify why that is not a good decision. In your conversation, unless he blacked your eye or he's some sort of a serious criminal, it's not going to be validated. It's not good enough because then you were never meant to be a wife. You were just married. You were never that. You were never in that position because that is long suffering, baby. Like it ain't no, oh, I just want to get out of this. It never said nothing about loving you in the Bible. If we were in an original time, we wouldn't even know the motherfucker until we got to the owl on what he looked like. And then if he's so unattractive, you just gonna have to deal with the shit because he done bought it already. Your family done already checked out that he had this much money and this is what the hell you doing. She talking about love in the Bible. That don't even go hand in hand. The only love, it is a love story, but it was only symbolic from the person that died for your sins that are clearly whooping her ass to this day. That's just
check this out. You know what? And I have said this before. I have said I was married to my daughter's father. I'm a wife to Mr. Randolph. There's a difference. There's a difference. Tell me what you got.
I think he's still driving. Yeah, push.
Okay, you're muted, but come on through when you can. So let's continue here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like if a woman were to say that she's okay, but okay, guess what? Say the conviction never comes. That first one was a mistake. Did I have number two? Okay.
I mean, but we can, I can't say that because one thing I'm not going to do, even though my children is by my ex, I can't sit there and tell you, woman, you had 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies, you trash. Nah, because at the end of the day, ultimately, us women are looking for love. That's ultimately.
Okay, stop. Okay, that's not the question at hand. That's not the question at hand. Okay? We are looking for love, but that does not absolve us from making smart decisions. And if we make decisions that are not smart, we got to sit in that.
The love she's referring to, though, I just want to be clear, is eros.
Yes.
The love that, if we're going to say in biblical terms, the love that goes into a marriage has nothing to do with romance at all.
Right.
At all. It's duty. When you know how much shit you got to go through to really love somebody, like, I'm doing this because I love you. Like, and it ain't happy all the time. You're doing it. Love is what you're actually continuously making the choice to do. You chose not to love your husband because there was certain things you felt love meant. And because you weren't getting those things, you said, oh, he don't love me. So to hell with him, I'd rather go get on government assistance. Exactly, Eugene. It does say love your wife. Wife. She was not a wife. And what's the
I see where you're going with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so do you have to admit to it to treat it?
Do you have to admit it to treat it? So I just gotta pray. Yeah, like do you have to acknowledge the issues in order to treat the issue?
Yeah. Just like an alcoholic. You gotta admit that you're an alcoholic.
Or you could just like drinking.
You know, but see, that's the psychology of it. I can quit anytime. Then do it.
Because I don't want to, because I like being drunk.
Okay, I'm back, y'all. I'm on Wi-Fi now.
Okay. So Tommy, what you got on? What do you think we hear so far? What you got? What's
It's
she
still
saying?
accountability. Is accountability is the biggest thing with this. And I think that's just the biggest problem in this country altogether. Not even just relationships, just period. Just people aren't accountable for their actions. They do something and they want to look for a way to blame somebody else or how it wasn't their fault and this, that, and the other. And so every time I hear it, it just sounds like she just don't want to be accountable for her part of anything. It's always a but, it's always a but what if. And so until she's ready to like take some self inventory and kind of, deal with her own stuff, she probably should just chill with herself. And I was gonna say too, and a lot of the ladies might not like this, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I think this is probably the most selfish generation of mothers I've ever seen in my life. Like when you see a lot of them move, they do not think about their kids at all. When you see them pick the dudes, they do not think about their kids at all. Like it's almost frustrating, to see some of the stuff that a lot of these mothers doing. And I'm not one to, bash women and stuff like that. It's just an observation that I've had, and just it's just certain stuff that I look at that, like, if you were thinking about your kids when you made that move, would you have really made that move? And a lot of the times the answer is no. And I've just noticed, just with this generation, man, they just it's wild. It's
That's because there's not a generation of mothers. These are just what's the female dog word?
even with the even with the little discussion that annoys the hell out of me, the whole "would you bring your man a plate?" And I'm in the comments, because they usually have that on Instagram every 6 months, and they argue, and I'm like, wait. So this man can stick his penis in you, but you can't make him a plate. That's the weirdest shit
It
in the
don't
world.
make no. It's trifling. It's giving ass backwards.
I won't put that on all. I'll just say a lot, because as much as I hear this from dudes that they deal with this, they deal with that, I personally don't deal with a lot of the stuff that these cats, be complaining about. As far as, like, when they say the submission and all of that stuff, like, that ain't, I guess, because I don't necessarily want the submission that they be asking for, I guess. Because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm ghetto. I like a little hood rat in my chicks. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I don't mind you. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, I don't know if I can, like, deal with just a fully square chick. Like, you gotta have a little. You feel me? That's just me.
That's a myth, though, Tommy. When we have submission, that means that she looks a certain way. Her skirts are a certain length to her ankles.
Yeah, see, I ain't rocking with that.
Yeah, that's not what it is. It's the behavior, how you carry yourself. Just like you have different type of feminine. Their feminine is what it is, but you have different type of women. Like in certain spaces, if anybody of the wrong person could bring out the wrong in you. So therefore you're like, I'm usually this. Who am I? And you just be on 10. And it's because things are not adding up. You're in a space where it's bringing out the worst in you. That doesn't mean that you're not feminine. But we know from majority, most of the time in these situations in relationships, and I agree with you, we have women who are selfish. And I think it could have came from an overcorrection of parenting, where as they grew up, they start thinking, oh, I had to do all this for my family. I had to do all this to help out. They weren't really understanding that those things were preparing you to be a woman. Now you have so many, I cannot tell you how many female friends I have that don't understand the importance of how your house is supposed to be clean. Or at least, like, I understand you live in it, you have certain things, but that in a time when I hear older men, that's something that they say is hard to find in the woman. The simplest things that they find attractive about a woman, that means that she's feminine, she takes care of herself, self-care and all of that stuff. That's something that most women today don't do, let alone what do you think they're going to be teaching their kids? You know what I'm saying? So they definitely are selfish. They just want to drop these babies for the most part and hop on the next penis.
But
hold on. Let me give it to you, because you're absolutely right, Lucky. Because I said this, I think the other night on Black Men Unfiltered, is that growing up, again, I'm a Gen X, y'all know that. But growing up, by the time I was age 8 in Wayne, Los Angeles, I knew how to cook, I knew how to clean because I was a latchkey kid. I had to have dinner cooked one time my mom got home from work because my mom was like working 3 jobs. The house had to be clean, knew how to do laundry. So by the time I graduated from high school and went off to college, I wasn't doing none of that because I didn't want to. It wasn't that I didn't know how to, but like you said, because I had so much responsibility, not realizing those are the things. And again, my mother required that of me and my sister, not just because she was a single mother, but her father required that of her because she was raised by my grandfather.
You're supposed to
So
learn to serve.
yes, I didn't. So again, soon as I was out, because when you go to college, you grown but not really grown. Like I ain't doing none of that.
Yeah.
But it was in me. So guess what? When I got older and mature and started to get the revelation, because I will never forget, I had a roommate that did not clean like I did. I remember being so mad, and that's when it dawned on me. I reverted back to the things that I had been taught when my mom used to get on us about having the house clean and all that kind of stuff. She didn't want to come back home and the house looked the way it did when she left. That's when it started to click for me. But I had been taught those things, even though I chose not to do them for a time, but I knew how.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead, Ben.
that's what's so weird to me because like I hear guys saying that, so I don't want to dismiss their experiences. I ain't had that problem. Like every time I've had a woman, they've cleaned up. I ain't had to be like, go clean up. They do it naturally. They cook naturally. I get my plate naturally. When I go to lunch right now, I get a lunch made for me. Like, and I'm not in here barking orders or nothing like that. So I mean, I don't know if it just goes back to how you carry yourself, but again, like I'm the type of person though, like I said, like when I had the situation, when I was talking to her, I didn't just come to her and say, you need to go to therapy. Like I'm going to. Matter of fact, not only am I going to, I've already went. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know if that's what you would call leadership or whatever, but I noticed with a lot of the,
You're leading by example, straight up, no
exactly.
chaser.
So it's, I don't get into the blame game that a lot of these cats get into, where it's the woman. Like for me personally, because I'm just an accountable person, anytime that anything goes wrong, whether it's work, whether it's relationship, anything, the first thing I do is look at self. Then after I look at self and take care of that, then I go outward. And I think the problem with people, men and women, is they don't want to take that step. They just want to immediately push the blame off. And I think for both sides, that I think that's where the separation is, and I think that's why we're at this space at right now, is because everybody wants to push the blame off and nobody wants to look in that mirror and go, oh well, maybe I got some shit I need to clean up too. And so even when I was in this space, y'all never heard me in here talking no shit about my kid's mom, none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was, and when people asked, I told them I had communication issues. Like I put it on me. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know if that attitude brings it out or if it's just the way I don't know what it is, but I just know for me personally, I've never had the problem of I come home and the house is dirty, or I come home and there's no food cooked. Like every once in a while, like right now, she said she was tired. So, all right, we'll go out. But 5 to 6 nights a week, we cooking. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know
I
what
mean,
these cats.
I'm so proud of you. Look at us setting examples. Okay.
Well, see, since we proud, I'm proud of you, Niecy Pooh.
Right. Okay.
And
Y'all
see,
want
check
this?
this
Yeah,
out.
I'm about to say, yeah, you too.
Yeah,
We all
and
get
check
our
it
stuff
out.
together.
We all came together where? Through this YouTube space.
Yes. That's
Through
why.
your homeboy. I wouldn't have never been here if it wasn't for him.
That's why I love the whole Kevin Samuel started this conversation, but not the way people are having it. Like you really very seldom see people actually getting back in those situations, learning like, look, you motherfuckers scaring me. Is this what it's like? I'm about to go back and be like, what's up, babe? Can we fix this? Cause
I mean, what we say, Lucky, it's ghetto out here. It's ghetto out
Okay,
here.
Brittany is asking what you did, Lucky. Share. You want to share?
okay, well we can share. Well, like Tommy B, I am engaged to my daughter's father. So we are back together. But we were not, it was no one night stand. We waited for almost like I waited for like 9 months before we actually did anything. So yeah, it was a relationship building that happened. Yeah. We building families over here. I am not built to be single. That is really not for me. Like I play way
That shit ain't no fun. I'm just gonna say it. It ain't.
no, and I play way too many games. That's why I can understand where she coming. I don't play the games with the vagina though. I don't. Not with that. But I definitely am very good at finessing. And for the past like 3 years, that's really just what's been going on. And it just get boring. Like I'm getting too old. I'm not taking nothing seriously. You know, like you like some stuff, whatever, but it's just not like what you've already had a child with for the most part. You know, if you had a child by somebody who is decent, I'm just saying, like not in this situation, but maybe in this situation, maybe if she actually did the work, she could see the situation a lot clearer. To where when she has a conversation with him, she can respond in a different way versus how she's used to responding. Like me, I don't care to be right. First of all, I'm right. But I don't care to be acknowledged for being right. Because to me, being right means how can we come to the same point in different from different roads. So you see it like this, you see it like this. That's fine. How can we get to this same? That's right. Like it's not about, oh, I'm over here, you need to meet me over here on this block. No, if we got the same point, we need to meet each other. Now I understand, even me, I can see in my own growth how even communicating in those situations, it's like, okay, I understand my mouth kind of just triggered something, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe I spoke too fast or whatever the case may be. And I'm want to be like, okay, I can understand how what I said could have given you this. I'll accept, the response. It's just the way you communicate a lot better. I don't like perfect people. I like people with a little bit of issues. I like a little bit of spice, a little bit of back and forth. I don't want no boring ass yes. Kind of like a yes man. So give me a little bit of a pushback.
Brittany, do you see my fist? You better not go.
Girl, maybe you fixed it, Brittany. Y'all can go to counseling because, girl,
she said, I built that.
Okay, we got some more to dissect here because it's a lot going on. You good? Lucky, you good, Tommy?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, let's finish it. We're gonna
And I've also stated before that it's like if we don't give up the vagina, then we're unwanted. They're not moving on to the next. So it's like, dang, I don't want to lose him, so let me give it up to him. Versus me actually wanting to wait till marriage, but I know I might not be with this guy, or at least that's what they make us seem. So I'm not going to tell,
Let me say this. I understand what you're saying. You do have value. I grace everyone, men and women.
Okay, do you see that one thing, I learned from my daughter, when she would get upset, she would start talking really fast. I'm like, slow down, breathe. She's starting to talk fast right now.
We have to stop this, and it's one thing that I hate that they say in this community that's absolute bullshit. And it's if you don't give it up fast enough, we not gonna want you, or we not gonna wait. So let's get one thing understood, and I learned this in this community. Most men are not having sex on the regular. It was a surprise to me. I did not know, but that's what I was taught in this community. So let's get this understood. So if most men aren't having sex on the regular, and you tell them they have to wait, you have no choice but to wait, because you already ain't having sex. So you got a bunch of these dudes in this community that hear this shit put in the air, and in their head they think it's you. But if you already not having sex, like, because a lot of their response is, oh, well, if I wait, then I'm gonna be hitting all these other chicks until you give it up. Well, you don't have them now. So what you think you're gonna appear because, oh, hey, she gonna make you wait so you can use me? Like, what are we talking about here? But you in a space where a lot of these dudes well, I'm gonna just say people altogether, but you know, they lie. You know, they make themselves something they not or whatever. And so you can't be in the space and one say most men aren't having sex, and then on the same hand say, oh, we're not gonna wait. You gonna wait for what the fuck you ain't getting? I mean, I'm just saying.
Fact. But see, I think the thing is that a lot of women are like tyranny, right? In the sense of the way that where their mind frame is now. I don't think that this is where her max potential is. I mean, unless she chooses to stop growing here. But I think that in like 5 years from what she's gonna look at this like, oh girl, I was wilding. You know what I'm saying? But I think going on a date with her right now, I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't wait on her. Do that. I would be very direct. Like, honey, I know. Let me just the type of display of this type of person. It just gives me the vibes that all I need to do is take you to an upscale restaurant and you're fucking. I'm not waiting. I just know how to play my hand a little bit better than the other dude.
After she told the story of them hooking up, that told you all you need to know.
Right, but she said, wait, did she say she was in Jamaica or something?
No, well, she was already planning on going to Jamaica. I believe she had met him, and then they started talking, and then they had the one night stand, and then she went to Jamaica and found out she was pregnant. That's why she moved back.
Okay, because I don't know where they went or what type of one night stand it, like, you know, I don't know the issues of the date, but my point is because you're giving off the fact that you're lacking self-love, that is a breeding ground for men to manipulate you there and control you. So I mean, the simple control, but just like she mentioned, and I'm sorry if I'm freezing. Just like she mentioned earlier, how he had it together. She mentioned the material things. If I come looking like the package and my wordplay a little bit better than the next dude's,
just hurry up and order a little bigger. It'll get here in time. My bad. I didn't know I was on. My bad.
Oh. No, I'm saying it, and what I'm providing is a little bit more than the last dude. The last dude is probably just like a pull-up type of person. He's not even probably trying to put any effort. All I need to do is put a little bit of effort on making you feel wooed, and I'm in there and I can control you. That's just what, and this is coming from what is needed even as a woman when you're dating other women. It is not hard to control women who do not love themselves and manipulation. The same way with men. It's just a different strategy. That's and really the honest truth. Yeah.
And check this out. Like the song goes, it's written all over your face. Listen, you don't even have to say nothing. You don't have to say a word. Because your countenance says it. Go ahead.
The first place you lose is most women when they like something, whether it's a dude, whether it's a car, whether it's a purse. A lot of women have a hard time withholding that, you know, showing that they like it. Is why when you in sales, they tell you to go after the woman and not the man, because they'll show you what they want. So one of the big, and I can tell you from a man's point of view, I'm a former slut, but that's the easiest way to figure out what's up is when you see them and they actually showing you what it is. Oh, it's game time then. And I think you're right. Like she do like when a person that, you know, if she into you, she gonna show it, and then it's just all you got to do is just not fumble it.
All you need is
did you say you were a former slut?
Listen, if they want to have a show on this, I could bring receipts. My own mama called me a hoe, so you feel me? I was out there.
Sluts Anonymous.
But I mean, you know, like to keep it 100 with you, I can literally tell dudes, you know, the bad parts about that, you know, and how it messes you up in your brain when you start getting ready for relationships, and how it skews your view towards women and stuff. And like I had to sit down and have a conversation with my pops at a point, because I had got to a point, it got bad, like where one time and I didn't want to see you again. Like I was like, okay, I got what I wanted, boom. Like it was so weird. And when I got to that point, I ain't gonna lie to you, like I got scared. I'm like, damn, like I ain't trying to be like this forever. So I had to go holler at my pops, like, yo, what is going on? Like this woo woo. You feel me? But it you know, somebody like her, and it's not saying nothing down on her, but it's just, you know, again, like if he was able to, maneuver like that with her, then I mean,
well, again, I like to bring it back to me, and the reason why I say that because as much as things have changed, a lot of it has stayed the same. Because I would put out a lot of what people perceive to be a lot of confidence, to be honest. But this bravado that I put on was to mask my own insecurities and my self-esteem. So the low self-esteem. So when I had, and it was because of that, I was swept off of my feet with the trappings that Danielle's father had. Again, not to put it all on him, but I was, because he had the car, nice car, he had money. He took me to a lot of nice places and all those kinds of things. And instead of paying attention to the things I should have been paying attention to, I was caught in the trappings because I didn't feel good about myself, but I portrayed like I did. I acted like I had it all going on, and no one who really didn't get a chance to know me didn't know that I was lacking, but I was. And again, that's where the growth, like you said, Tommy, you was a hoe and you had to have a talk with your dad. There were some things I was lacking, and there's something else she's going to talk about here about her dad not being there. That all of that was part of it, but again, instead of me dealing with it, I was going to be a force of nature. I was going to be right. I was going to argue down. I was going to justify. I was going to do all of that. All of it. Let's play some more because this is getting great.
So if there's a person in your presence calling a woman a trash because she has bad decisions, that's someone that you don't want to communicate with that person. I get what you're saying. I get that. But it doesn't change the fact that that person, whether I call them trash or not, they have made some irresponsible decisions in their life. And sure. we have to account for that. As women, we have to sit in it. You know what I mean by sit in it?
Sure, yeah. We sit with the kids every day at home. We definitely know what it means to sit in it. Absolutely.
We sit in it. That's exactly what happened.
Okay, Niecy Pooh, you go first because I know what I want to say, but you
let it play a little bit. Let it play a little bit.
Okay.
But this is what I'm saying to you. While we're sitting in it, we should be accounting for what we've done so we won't make that same mistake again. We can't do it again. We don't have the opportunity to do it again. Now, you being somebody that knows the word of God, you're a follower of Christ, you're wrong for allowing a woman to be wrong and not tell her that she's wrong. You're wrong for that.
That's exactly why I be on these panels. I made my mistake. Yeah, hold on. Let me finish. I made my mistake. Yeah. People gonna talk about what I did. I don't care. But at the end of the day, I come on here to let women know we do all make these mistakes. We do make these mistakes. We do go through what we go through. This is flesh. This flesh was created at the end. And then we were brought to whatever world that God kicked us out from the Adam and Eve. So this flesh is prone to sin, right? So, I mean, I just don't see myself, getting mad at even man.
It's muted, TT.
Oh, okay. Let me go back. Hold on. Sorry about that.
It just muted for a second.
It doesn't change the fact that person, whether I call them trash or not, they have made some irresponsible decisions in their life. And sure. we have to account for that. As women, we have to sit in it. You know what I mean by sit in it?
Sure, yeah. We sit with the kids every day at home. We definitely know what it means to sit in it. Absolutely.
We sit in it. That's exactly what happens. But this is what I'm saying to you. While we're sitting in it, we should be accounting for what we've done so we won't make that same mistake again. We can't do it again. We don't have the opportunity to do it again. Now, you being somebody that knows the word of God, you're a follower of Christ, you're wrong for allowing a woman to be wrong and not tell her that she's wrong. You're wrong for that.
That's exactly why I be on these panels. I made my mistake. Yeah, hold Hold on. Let me finish. I made my mistake. Yeah. People gonna talk about what I did. I don't care. But at the end of the day, I come on here to let women know we do all make these mistakes. We do make these mistakes. We do go through what we go through. This is flesh. This flesh was created at the end. And then we were brought to whatever world that God kicked us out from the Adam and Eve. So this flesh is prone to sin, right? So, I mean, I just don't see myself, getting mad at even men got 15 kids out there too. Like, we can't just sit here and tell a woman you're wrong for opening up your box when it's the pencil that's stuck into the pencil sharpener.
Hold on for a minute. Remember, I said we weren't going to talk about men. We were going to deal with only women because we're the.
Should I keep going, or is this a good place to stop?
Yeah, because she capping. And the only reason I say this is because, listen, again, it's accountability. So when I was single, I understood and I accepted the fact that I got 3 kids with 2 women, and that's going to limit my options. I wasn't crying about it on the internet. It is what it is. So it's for men and women. When you have kids, your options are limited. Sorry, that's the reality. You deal with it. But again, it's accountability. Oh, it's not fair. No, it's fair. You made that decision. You had them. You dealt with the consequences, and that's one of the consequences is you shorten you shorten them out. Now, I will say that women's get shorter than men's because, like, I've actually had women that was attracted to me by the way I dealt with my kids. I don't know too many men who gonna be attracted because you take care of your kids a certain way. I'm sure some, but it's not like it is the other way around, But at the end of the day, anybody that has kids, your options get lower. It's just what it is.
What you got, Nisi?
You can keep going. This is hilarious. I get her point though. She's trying to say why is accountability on the receiver and not the person who planted the seed. I get that, but right now the accountability is on you because you're acting as though you didn't allow him to plant his seed in you by way of having this one night stand and not taking the time out to determine if this is somebody you want to sleep with,
have a life with. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's go.
The ones that carry the babies. We're the ones that have the children.
We're not giving the babies.
I'm not denying that. I don't.
Right, okay.
Not at all. Not one time. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not saying that they don't give away their power when they have sex with women and impregnate them and give them children. We're not talking about them though, because I'm a woman and you are too. I'm saying we got to be the best versions of ourselves because just like you said a minute ago, we're the ones sitting at home with these 3 babies or with these kids and we're lonely, we're depressed, and it's not good. It's not good because guess what? You just said this is not how you saw yourself. You saw yourself being so much more than a wife. You started out by saying that. You didn't see the purpose in it. So that means you see tyranny as being something else or being.
No, I never said I see myself more than a wife because a wife is an ultimate goal.
Well, you said
okay. Did anybody else hear her say this? Say what security boss said? Because I believe I heard her say that she wanted to be more than just a wife.
Yeah, because she was saying just being a wife, she kind of summed it up and simplified it as though just doing that duty for X amount of time is going to result in her losing herself or down the line. If he wants to leave, she has to start all over.
That's what I thought I heard her say. Okay, just wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping. Let's go.
But you said it. You never saw the purpose in it. You felt like you were so much more. Didn't you say that?
No, not really. So like I'm saying, I don't see myself getting warped around everything I do. Babe, go get the groceries. Okay, babe, go. Okay, like I have a life too. And if I surround myself around all your wants and all your needs, and then all of a sudden you lose interest, then I don't even know what to do. Don't even know who I am. Now I got to start all over. So I can please you and have my duties as a wife, absolutely. But understand, you married tyranny too. So you have to understand there's things about tyranny that tyranny likes to do also. So we could be equivalent to each other and not you trying to tell me and rule over me and tell me what to do. That's a curse.
Okay. One of the reasons I'm going to stop right there is because I understand part of what she's saying with respect to losing yourself in a man. But here's the thing for women, I want y'all to understand this. And Nisi Poo, I want you to understand this too, because again, you are a mother to a young child. it's going to happen with children too.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen even if you weren't married. If you have a child, you're going to forget who you are because the focus is not on you, right? It's on them.
Mm-hmm. Unless you make time for yourself. Mm-hmm.
Yes. That
3
is
kids.
why it's going to be hard, because that is why I'm going to just be honest with y'all. When Danielle got ready to graduate from high school, I had a complete and total major depressive episode that lasted for almost a month. Why? Because for the last 18 years, my life had been about her. And I'm like, who am I
That's,
now?
that's so simple. That's so similar to, I just relate to that, not even to share. I relate to that. But I think in this, it's just kind of like, why is she practicing despair and destruction of a marriage? She's basically saying, I do want to be a wife, but I don't want this because if this is happening. She's giving way too much energy on the if. You first got to get there. It's just like the Black people that always want to talk about Black issues, and then when you start talking about them actually reaching a goal or wherever they're at, climb the ladder. Go all the way. Don't just stop at, if you at Walmart, don't stop at cashier. Go to general manager. Try to climb up. They say, no, because the white man going to stop us. He ain't going to let us. How about you get there and enough to knock on the door and then tell us how it's being slammed? Don't talk about some shit that we don't even know, this imaginary boogeyman that's going to tell you, I don't want to be with you no more. Because, baby, if you make a good statement on somebody's life and impact, if he leave, he the one losing out, period. Because you would know that you can't get another me. Because if we're sitting up here saying most women are like how she is right now, that means that all you got to do is do more than the most women. And you're in there, which you have she's talking about, Tierney, go get the groceries. Okay. She named the most insignificant shit. Why you can't help get the groceries? Don't you want to eat? Like, what the hell are we talking about? She didn't even name anything that was of an issue that I can see. Okay. The groceries, bitch. I'm just,
But that's why I said she might want to look into that postpartum, because it's like petty stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
definitely paid.
somebody in the comments said something about you can't run, but hey, bro, if you ain't in that situation where you waking up to a mean mug every morning and every little thing that you do, it's level 10, it ain't level 1.
Man.
Like, that shit difficult.
And I know
okay,
difficult.
Okay, Tommy's talking about it.
Huh?
Lucky's talking about it. My daughter talked about it on the show. And again, my son-in-law is just, he is as even kilter as my husband. But when he called me, what's going on, Daddy? She on 10. Everything it's real.
I was over here. Remember I told you, TJ, I was tripping over the fact that he did not put butter in the grits that was on the pot that he just finished. I was going up, who the fuck don't know to put butter in grits? Are you pregnant? Just thick ankles, all of that going off over grits. Now I'm like, oh, but you was crazy. Tripping over, but I don't know if it's postpartum, because I'm willing to bet that that's a cop out for a lot of women. That is something that you experience. But I wasn't up here on panels either. You know what I'm saying? So I think that whether she's going through something or not, the fact that no one around her is identifying it, you know what I'm saying? It just kind of makes me question. You up here so judgy, but we're supposed to give you grace because you're a woman. But you sitting up here being so harshly judging men about, oh, they shouldn't be thinking this way about women. But then when it comes to you, I didn't have these type of things. Are you not a woman from the same generation of men who didn't have what you had either? I'm sure the person who buried her did not have a lot of the tools that could have been given to him from his parents as well. But one thing he did do right was when he got her ass pregnant, he said, you know what, let's try to do this for life because of our kids.
And that's old school stuff right there. Yes. That's straight old school stuff.
Somebody taught him a little bit more than her.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I grew up both my parents married, and I still had, stuff that I had to get through. So
Codependency.
yeah, oh no, for real, like it got bad. But no, it's one of the things like I said, if I had both parents and I still had to go through my issues, then I can imagine with people that got one parent or that one parent and they parent is, not all the way there. Not, like it's so many. That's why I said you got so many people that got issues, and you're trying to make a relationship work, and it's hard enough when both people are healthy to make a relationship work. Now you got, most of the time both people probably need some type of, therapy, and they trying to make a relationship work, and it's just like you don't even have the tools to even, maintain this, and you trying to make it work, and it's tough.
And
I want to
listen,
say,
go ahead. When women
I
have
was
go ahead, babe. So I was like, okay, so when a woman, I remember, I don't know if they do it too much now, but when I was growing up in high school, they said, oh, she must be on her period. She must be PMSing. So when you think about a woman who deals with PMS and the attitude adjustment, the hormonal changes, I told my son-in-law, I said, now that my daughter is pregnant, think about how she is on her worst day. Now you need to take that to the 10th power.
mm-hmm,
And that's real.
mm-hmm.
And it's to
Maybe
the
100.
10th power. That's real.
Yeah.
So, and then a lot of times you don't even understand what you're dealing with yourself. So again, I'm so happy that both of you all, you, Tommy, and you, Lucky, you all, and part of this was discussions, like you all said, on these panels. And you hearing from Danielle, Lucky, about the stuff that she was feeling. So, and you think about it, and not to excuse her behavior, but when you think about Tyranny's got back to back to back kids.
She going through it over there mentally. Like really, and I think that this is gonna help grow her. I think all these people's opinions and observations of her will help to shape her. Because nobody likes to hear something bad about themselves. For her to say she don't care, she cares. Because you wouldn't have had this conversation with security boss to try to make yourself sound different so people could understand you. She's in a space where she wants to be understood. So I think once she gets out of there, and you need to understand yourself first before anybody can understand you. And we don't really care what you got going on. You look stressed out. You know what I'm saying? And anytime somebody sees you up there, even if you go to her channel, she looks a little bit stressed out. So I think that the thing that Tommy said too, I think therapy is important, but I also think that we have to get to a point individually where we are definitely okay to where even in a relationship, I don't need to necessarily go to a counselor. Sometimes all counseling is somebody who's teaching you how to talk through your internal issues, how to articulate them, how to bring them out, how to express them in a ways that are healthy and not stuck in a childish like state. That's all it is. Once you get to that point, your partner, it should be therapeutic to talk to each other. Like, dang, I just need to talk to him. I need to talk to her right now because I know she's going to tell me what I need to hear, and it's going to make me feel. We shouldn't have to go to a counselor about everything. At some point, some things we should be able to help each other work through our issues and become each other's counselor. And if you can't understand your damn self, I don't even want to talk to you. It's just on period.
And I think another part that I don't think we brought up too is she had 3 kids by a cat that she basically didn't know. I don't think we really like hammering in on that. Like, and back to back to back. If you was married for 10 years and that happened, that's stressful. Imagine doing that with a cat that you don't even really know like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot going on in that situation. Um, it's no way that she should have had 3 back to back to back the way that they met, and they don't know each other. Just keep it 100. Like they knew each other a month and got married. That's
no,
nuts.
they knew each other a month. They knew each other a month and got
Or
pregnant.
got pregnant and then ended up getting married. But
got
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
but
got married.
you don't really know this person like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I think that's a big problem with a lot of people out here, men and women, is y'all having kids by people y'all don't even know. I even talked that with a lot of the dudes that be complaining about the child support. I'm like, yeah, you didn't even know what to expect because you didn't know her. You know what I'm saying? Like, the 2 women I had kids with, I knew. So when I talk about my situation with people go, "Oh, you was lucky." part of me go, maybe, but then part of me go, I don't know, because I knew who I was with. A lot of these cats, you know, you with the chick too much and then, oop, she pregnant. Like, you don't know that person.
How is that lucky? Do you see how we in today? That's not lucky because you actually was in a relationship before you had a kid. Shouldn't that be normal?
It should be, but it's not. Let's hold that thought, because your
I know.
auntie who's 55, I'm 55. I need a bio break. Okay. So
Gotcha.
while I'm doing a bio break, we're gonna listen to the new intro again. Shout out to Lucky Maree, who hit me up with this new intro. So I'm gonna do this real quick bio break. So let's go. Let's do it.
I think she meant to play it.
Do you wanna go to a place? I wanna go to a place. Do you wanna go to a place? I wanna go to a place. I can take you there. I can take you there. Do you wanna go to a place? I can take you there. Say do you wanna go to a place? Search far and wide by your side. Far and wide by your side. Search far and wide.
I'm back.
Look like Lucky dropped off.
Oh, she did? Look like she did. Okay. So that is, I think she was, so we'll bring her back. So that was the new intro that Lucky Maree did for me. Okay. And featuring my firstborn nephew, Rhyan Spunk Adams' new song, Noun, Person, Place, or Thing. You can get it on Spotify, Apple Music, and all those streaming avenues. So let's continue real quick, and hopefully Miss Lucky will rejoin us.
But Tyranny, you know it's not like that. You know the Bible clearly tells you, man is over woman. God is over man. Now, if you're saying if he was the wrong one, and this is what you're saying, he didn't check in with his father. He didn't check in with Jesus. He didn't check in with the Creator. That's what you're saying. So you're saying you got a bad one. I get what you're saying, and we often do. There are some bad marriages, people, but you still have to recover and know that all of them ain't like that. But guess what? You got to understand and know what to look for the next time, if next time comes. Mm-hmm. But you can't do it being angry. You can.
I'm not angry. I should have said that at the beginning. I'm definitely not angry. Anger is a lot of energy, negative energy. I don't have time for all of that. I got 3 kids to raise. But I just, I just don't see I've made the mistake, like you said, learn. And I've learned to do not warp yourself completely. Put all your eggs in one basket. Have your own basket too. I'm not talking to other men. That's ridiculous.
Okay, explain it to me what you mean by that. Because again, if we're talking just about you, we're saying that you're a woman that follows Christ. Christ didn't tell you to do what you just said.
Which is what?
Put your eggs in one. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
So you think Christ Christ didn't make the rules. He just told you to go by them. But do you think God said, Eve, you need to do everything that your husband tell you to do? Or did he curse her once again for him to rule over her?
Listen, I don't read that word way. It was a curse. But listen, hold on. Marriage is what we're talking about. And I think that's what you're talking about. Marriage is the agreement. Hold on for a minute. Let me do the super chat. And I'm gonna call him Trey because he has a name there. Decca Trey. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. Dating mothers who are single without the purpose of marriage is counterproductive and difficult. No, not many can do that without failure. I agree with you. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. So we're going back. Marriage. Okay, so the instructions for marriage is from Jesus Christ. You know, we're, as the church, are supposed to be the bride, right? So he gives us instruction on how he loves man is what it is, how Christ loves man. And that's the marriage. That's what it is. If you go to Corinthians, it will tell you those instructions. In that, love is a lot of things. I'm not talking about the emotion of love. I'm talking about what love is in marriage. You know, patience, never puffed up, enduring, you know, all these things that love is what your husband has for you. And then for you, you have submission. So that's what it is. You can go to Corinthians and you can check all this out. That's what marriage is. It's a blueprint for marriage.
Right. But you know, they're to submit too. It's not just I submit to you.
No, they submit to Christ, God the Father. You submit to him, but it doesn't say submit when he's perfect.
But it also don't say you're right. Okay, so if you want to talk about order, God, Christ, man and woman. But these men, I ain't gonna say all, but a lot of them aren't even following Christ. So you want me to follow the order, but you're out of order. How can I follow order if you're not even following the order that was given
you out of order
to me, baby, to follow you?
What'd you say, Lucky?
I said she out of order. How's she gonna say right? But it also doesn't say. Don't try to say what it also don't say. Acknowledge what I said. See what I'm girl. Ooh, I would have girl. Why she want to fight? Like,
but that's the part, and that's the part that I'm not angry. I didn't say I was angry. That's the point. We don't have to say it.
Girl, it's essentially words.
Our countenance. And see, here's the thing. I know when I want to be fighting, like the other night on Black Men Unfiltered, I was here for it. But I didn't have to. You know, Letty Novea said, and she was right. But I'm not making excuses for it. Yeah, I was. I was wrecked for it. Neck, hair, all of it.
But I also want to say that it's not a problem. There's a time and a place. In this time, talking to her, it was nothing about security boss's demeanor that should have made you feel on 10, unless you were reading the chat. So you were getting defensive about the judgments of other people that you weren't having the conversation with, which means that you're easily distracted to outside stuff to where you're not even acknowledging the conversation that's taking place. You're too worried about what's going on in the background. And those people aren't in your life. All we judging is what you're telling us. And we're trying to figure out, are you really this goddamn delusional? And we can't even get a real conversation going because you're trying to say, it's a curse. Why? What Bible is that? This is why I blame the Christians, but we gonna y'all churches have taught this grace message so well that you have, and it's specifically to women for so long that they think that once they do some immoral, vile, shameful shit, they can run and get the covering of Jesus, and you can't judge me because I know Jesus. No, that's not true. We're judging you. And what she's doing is judging with righteous judgment. That's also in there. So I don't even understand how she's sitting up here thinking because she put on the armor of God all of a sudden, allegedly, which we could tell you did not. Because it's people. God said you would know my people based on my light. She's unfamiliar. We can tell. You're using the scriptures that you feel like you can use to justify whatever you're doing, or to make you feel it's just like the homosexual who believes he was born gay. you're going to use whatever you could use to justify why God created this, instead of saying, you know what, I know that wasn't of God, but that was my choice. Period. That's all.
It does come down to choice. That's for
It
sure. Tommy, feel free to jump in anytime.
I think that's why a lot of Christians get backlash. Is because you got people like her who will use the scriptures to her advantage instead of just read. Because this whole thing, she's listening to respond. She's not even like listening and taking in the information. She's not even. The whole thing, she's not even open to being wrong. That's what's crazy.
Yes, that's the point. Because again, I say one of the things that I learned over the past 15 years or so is that if I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
If you're wrong, your situation to tell you how wrong you are. Because the one thing. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. No, I just saw a video today where you did that, TJ, with World Class.
Yeah.
When y'all had that exchange and you apologized. Absolutely. Yeah. And everybody said, that was big of you to do that, because unfortunately, that's lacking from a lot of people these days.
Mm-hmm. They have to share blame. But that's what I was saying in her situation, where she's going to keep trying to share blame. And she's not really going to listen to anything. Like, she's really just a lost cause. Everybody ain't going to go. I just want to make that clear. Everybody can't go. As long as I go, I'm straight. But this situation, like...
And as long as I know I tried, I'm okay.
I'm cool with not trying. I'm cool.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you, lady. I'm cool with not even trying. Hey, it's a dog-eat-dog world. I got to get mine.
Okay, let's go.
See, we're not praying every day.
Nobody used it. You, the person who said that you were following that. You said that.
I'm saying a lot of men say that the men's are here, the woman.
The security boss got so much patience.
But if you want to go by the order and keep it how it's supposed to be, Christ is ahead of the husband. So if you saying I don't believe in all that, but woman, you better follow me, that's out of order. That's out of order. I can't follow you if you're not following your master.
Exactly. That wouldn't be the man for you.
Right.
Wouldn't be the man for you. But you have to learn that. But you know that now, though, right?
Absolutely.
So when you hear men saying these things and they're not reverencing Christ or the Creator, why would you argue with them?
1 second. Huh?
What she did right there is one of my biggest problems with people doing this community, and I see it especially with the dudes. Why would you bring up a person that you won't even date? What she described was a dude that wasn't even a Christian. What? You won't even date him. So why are you even bringing him up as an example?
Because she would fuck.
Exactly.
Because I'm thinking that's who she married.
Probably, but I'm like, so basically, you was wrong off the jump. If he wasn't a Christian in the beginning, y'all should even like you was. But again, she's not even open to being wrong.
She open in other ways.
See, there you go. Girl, stop.
You can probably tell it's something with women. You can tell them they're wrong when that's the only time they submit. Okay, I understand. And I bet you after that, you get about a good 24, 48 hours. She's just so nice and okay.
But just peep this. If she's like this with security boss, imagine what that poor man was going through.
That's what I said. That's what I would be cheating on her. Listen.
Bro is a soldier. Oh my, to deal with that, my guy is a soldier.
And he kept going, and he was in the house on this live stream. Do you know I would have been toxic as a man, because I'd have been like, "Are you on this live talking about me?" It would have been interrupted.
No, hey, for real, yeah. No, let me sit there. We both gonna talk about this.
I would have walked past her in the back with my drawers on. I'd have been so disrespectful.
With your drawers on.
Me look like I'm drawing that Kendra G video.
Oh, we gotta do that, TT. We gotta. Okay, you can push play.
Well, that's y'all say argue. Okay, whatever, it turns into an argument. But that was me going on to there and letting all these women that listen to know you're more than just a vagina box. You are not submissive to just your boyfriend. And if you make him your husband, make sure you guys are equally yoked. That's like the biggest, we're not equally yoked. They talk about opposites attract. Maybe on this earth, but in a 27-year-old marriage, that's your best friend. And y'all eggs scrambled at the same rate. You know what I'm saying?
This way though.
What?
Right. You have to work towards it. That's something you have to fight for your marriage, man.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But what happened is I was willing and I was a wife.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a wife first. And if you're not working towards being a wife, now your situation is totally different. You knew the man a month. We're gonna just you didn't know anything. You just went for it, is what I'm saying. But somewhere along the line, I think it might have gotten good because you stayed at least 3 years, right? I'm sorry? Oh.
I'm sorry, say it again?
I said somewhere along the line, it must have gotten better, like you said, because you stayed in a relationship, in your marriage relationship, at least 4 years, correct?
What was it? Yeah, 4 years.
4 years. And again, listen, I hate that your marriage is not together right now. I wish that it was.
I don't. I mean, it's not that I don't, but hey, I'm at peace.
I wish it didn't end up the way it is because you have 3 children that need their dad. He's there now, which is thumbs up. I'm so glad to hear that. And I'm glad to hear and see. Hopefully this is a regular thing that you are allowing him to be a part of their life.
Oh, yes. Yes. Every week.
You know what? I just thought about they ain't never had a regular relationship. Most of their relationships, she was pregnant.
And
that's what I'm saying.
Chaos of the kids.
Like they never had a relationship where she wasn't pregnant. That's nuts.
She was stressed out and she wanted him to pick up more ways to relieve the stress.
Yeah, that's crazy. I just thought of that. Like, damn, like when she said 4 years, I'm like, well, shit, your whole relationship, you was pregnant. That's crazy.
In the whole relationship, he kept getting her pregnant. We know they had one thing they was doing.
Exactly. They got along there.
Yeah.
It's that package.
Hey, you know what? I'm thinking about it. He might have knocked her down that night after she got off the camera. Shit.
He ain't tripping. He like, she gonna get up here and talk all this woke shit, and she gonna be right back to the, you know what time it is.
Okay, let's go.
Take them. Bye. I need a break. Absolutely.
So, now, wait a minute. You heard security boss ask her how the father, that he, is he active in the children's life? Now, you heard her say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's saying, yeah, he's good with the kids. He comes get it. Okay, so let's keep it going. Just remember that.
Modern Renaissance, how you doing? Let's see. He said, at unsolicited boss, yes. He said, your desire shall be to your husband and shall rule over thee. We know this, but she is not talking about herself particular, right? You just going against what the men are saying on these panels. Am I right about that?
Exactly.
Okay, because if you ever get married again, you're a woman that is following the word of God, right?
Right.
And you're going to understand that your husband will rule over you. You just don't understand
that. See, if we're gonna be on one accord, he ain't gonna want to rule over me.
Okay,
he's not gonna want to.
What part of that you have a problem with?
Ooh, so I've seen it.
You seen what?
I've seen the ruling over women. I've seen the literally, do what I tell you to do.
I said
and
earlier,
if you're gonna have a problem with what I got to tell you to do, we're gonna argue, we're gonna fuss, we're gonna fight. I'm gonna leave the house. Now come back until a couple of hours later. I've seen it.
Tyranny, that's not love in marriage. That's not something that Christ ordained. That's not right. You knew
You're telling me. I mean, I know it's not right, but the men that a lot of us that are choosing a lot. I mean, that's exactly how they feel. I mean,
okay,
what the fuck is she talking
about? Listen. Yeah. She is literally the number one reason why men are scared to get married. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, it sounds like she had a good dude. And this is what he got in return for that. And it's crazy because it ain't even fair to most women because of the way she came across this dude. And it, from everything it sounds like he's a solid individual.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what he got from that. And this right here is what scares the hell out of men. Is I could be, and this ain't the first time I've seen, like, I've heard of women where they asked, I think Kevin Sanders had it where they asked her why or asked them about like the ex, and they literally said, "Oh no, he was perfect." Mm-hmm. And like that makes niggas pull their hair out. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh no, he did everything. He did it. So what? Like, it's like, damn. So we can't do nothing. Like that. That's nuts to hear.
It's the myth of needing to find this happiness that ain't the fuck happiness. You build happiness.
Well,
create
this is
that.
what I always tell women. Once you find happy, that's it.
You don't.
It don't go past that.
You can't find it. You cannot find. That's the
you
myth.
Make it. You
well,
make
I'm
it.
saying once you receive it, get to it. However, once you get to that place, it don't get no higher. And the problem is, like you said, like they look for higher. Dog, happy is where it's at. That's your goal. And they'll get to happy and still be looking for more. And it's just like, I mean, I don't, and again, so as men, when you see that, it's like, fuck, like, so I could be the perfect dude. I could be the solid dude and still end up like this.
But y'all be sleeping with this. He slept with it.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
I'm sure on one day I'd have been like, oh, girl, listen, everything you paid for, I give you money to break up right now. We would not be dating ever again.
He should have crushed up a Plan B and put it into some drink.
Yo, you gonna eat the cake anime. You gonna drink this. So you think I'm about to procreate this? Nah.
Listen, okay, let's go. Let's go some
all right. But what do you do when you love somebody? Now I'm a woman that I'm fell in love with a man. And oh my God, he's great. He could be bossy and tell me what to do. And like I said, he come home whenever he wants to, get a bad attitude with me. Now the man had a baby on me, But I love him so much. So I'm not going anywhere. Like, nah, that's not going to.
Why are we talking about these what ifs?
These imaginary.
Okay. What in the fresh hell are we talking about? I mean,
everything about her dude sounds solid. Again, like you said, so why are you even bringing that up? Like, if that was an issue in your relationship, you would have said that was. You never said it was.
You keep talking about other people's relationship. She keeps saying
she said that she didn't want to talk about hers, which is her right not to talk about hers.
Girl, she's talking about hers. Like,
but she's talking about all these extraneous things that I'm like, what does that have to do? Because again, I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't get bothered sometimes when I hear some of the stuff that that men are saying, but I do have to remind myself they're not talking about me. But sometimes I do get caught up and I get mad because I was raised by a single mom, and I'm like, but I have to remember, okay, they don't know me. They don't know my mother. It still bothers me sometimes, and sometimes I'll have to get with you, but I have to remind myself they're not talking about me.
We acting like she's sitting up here. First of all, she's talking about herself. Let's keep that clear. She's referencing these imaginary women to justify and make it seem like she's not talking about herself. I know women that do this because you could do this and this will happen. Where are these women? Like, no, not one woman that actually liked and actually had a marriage. That's a problem with your community and who you keep around you.
And if you do, what does that have to do with you?
But exactly, you're going off of other people's. That's because she don't know these many women that be having all these marital issues and they can't stay. She ain't named not one valid reason. When it come to her, the most I got is she don't want to bring no groceries in the goddamn house.
You stupid.
Like, And the Bible she used say, if a woman can't bring the groceries in, she don't fucking eat. That's what the Bible says.
and call on the man will rule over you. Again, it's basically the man will lead you. What's the problem with that? Now, listen to me, ladies. I get it. I'm trying to help you. I thought this way at one time, thinking that submission and leading was somehow almost like indentured servitude. That's not what we're talking about. And if we come into contact with a man that is doing those things, that are abusing, because it is a God is not. If it's a God ordained union, God is not going to look very favorably at a man that's abusing that. So if we are in a situation that men are abusing it, that's not who we need to be with. Mr. Randolph, we've never had a conversation about submission, him leading me. Never. I just fell into where I was supposed to be, and we rolling with it.
TJ, I ain't never in my life had a conversation about submission. Not a one time.
No. Because you're leading by example, and your wife to be is falling under it. It don't mean that she don't have a brain. It don't mean that she can't think. It doesn't mean that she don't have an opinion. But she's deferring to you as the head. And again, I get it. But my frame of thought at the time was out of ignorance. That's why we're having these conversations. Let's go.
Help you. It's not gonna help you.
Well, listen, if Christ put it together, it can work out. If somebody else put it together, it may not work out. But still, in marriage, I think you need to go get counseling, whoever that is. You should say to those people, I think y'all need to go talk to someone, because that you're talking about just somebody. You're just talking about people that are not honoring their vows. That's totally different. That is not love. It isn't. It is not. Now, and that is not a representation of marriage. Please don't let that be your example of a marriage.
Right. No, I know what a marriage looks like.
I've been married 27 years. You know, Anton and Rita been married 17 years. Modern Renaissance, you don't maybe not know him, but him and his wife been married 20 plus years. There are examples of good marriages where men are not out there being tyrants. A man doesn't have to be a tyrant.
Right, he doesn't have to be, but the way that they're growing up now, and us too. Because I mean, I would like to stop talking about men because I ain't got them figured out. I'm still single. But the way that a lot of them is growing up, it's just like, hold on, this don't even look like how my granddad loves my grandmother. This don't even look like something he would say or something he would do.
Okay, you know? But are the women like
sweetheart, you was a kid.
Oh, come on. No.
I just hadn't. You mean in a marriage? Like I said, I've never seen you mean I like the relationship?
Attitude and demeanor. You know, like for instance, you get real upset. I've seen you get upset a couple times with Chaotic Truth when he makes his corn bean jokes about a woman needs to have a mop in her hand. You be like, fired up. I mean, no, it's funny. It's not even. It's funny, but you be like, you know what? It's okay. He's just making a joke. He's just trying to, it's nothing to that. But there's nothing wrong with having a clean house either.
But there's little girls listening. And if a little girl who's seeking love,
no, it's
and
not.
If a man is saying love,
little girl shouldn't be listening.
No, we're gonna stop that right there. That's not love.
He's not saying love, putting a mop in your hand. No. Listen, we are trying to you need to, this is what we should be doing. We should try to make sure that women are getting a message of being wives and ladies and women. That's it. And we need to value men for what they bring to the table, but we need to perfect what we bring to the table. We have roles, especially if you want a traditional marriage or traditional relationship. There's nothing wrong with a woman cleaning the house, mopping the floor, cooking, or washing clothes. It's not like we watch.
And it's a joy to do that.
Wash them on our hands. We put them in the washing machine.
Yes.
We can cook.
So can a man. See, maybe this is what it is. I'm not looking for a husband. I'm looking for a partner.
Okay, so you partner.
Okay, so yeah, I can have a husband all day long. I want a partner. I want someone that says, babe, you got the kids.
I about died when she went there.
You got the kids. I need a.
So see again. So it sounds like to me. I said I wasn't gonna pause it, but it sounds like to me that's not what she had.
No, she want a babysitter. She reminds me of the women that be on these damn dating sites or whatever, and they be single mothers. The first thing they would do is talk about how they need help with the kids. You need help. That's just what it is.
Yeah, she definitely need help.
In partnership, I'm a partner, but guess what? I'm a junior partner. Because go ahead.
No, I when she went for the partnership, I just, like I said, I just about died because I think people just take the submission thing so like negatively, and then you end up with this, and it's just like
the first month that she met him.
Like, I don't hold prisoners. She can do whatever she want to do. It's not like that. You feel me? Like it just sounds like when a lot of these women hear submission, they sound like they a prisoner or something. And it's like, nah.
Indentured servitude. But I don't know who said it, but they said a woman submits when she lays down and has sex with a man.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because you're giving up your body. So yeah, you submit.
And
we're being inserted into that submission.
Whether in that mouth too. Let's stop acting like the first time you was not submitting. Like that's what
lucky.
That's what I be saying, because these baby, it be the same females that be talking about, oh, I don't eat everything. You gotta watch what you eat. Oh, I don't drink. But you out here sucking dick on the first date. Like, what the hell? you so precise of what goes in your mouth. Like, you're so protective of yourself. So now girl, fuck out of here.
Nah, that's wild.
You gotta unmute yourself, TJ.
You gotta unmute your mic, I think.
Sorry, I'll just keep going.
Of my husband, I like when my husband comes home from work. Well, I've been out in the office, so no. Let me be honest about this. Totally, my husband and I own a business. We co-own a business, so it's a little different. We don't have to work for other people. We own our own business. So let me just set the scene correctly. When he comes home, I don't mind taking off his boots because I feel like I'm totally taken care of. Though I feel like he totally takes care of me. Mm-hmm. What I don't know, I feel like he teaches me. So I'm not his equivalent in any way. I don't want to be. But see, I understand his value. I see how valuable he is. Now, what I'm trying to get you, and this, listen, these new age things that are going on now with modern women, if you want to be 50-50 with a man, I mean, I guess that's what that man, and you have to have that understanding. But what I'm saying is, even in that, he has more value than you do because he can do more than you can. Mm-hmm. And you still need to understand that. It still needs to be a level of respect. He needs to respect you too. And you need to respect him for being a man and still being.
Are you watching the facial expressions?
Girl, she can't take it.
Yeah, she don't want to hear
it. She might be a lesbian.
In the head.
No, she just gonna find a pushover dude. That's all.
I am. I don't have no social media. I don't have no.
That's true.
TikTok, I don't have no Instagram. The only thing I have is a Facebook, and that's
okay. Did we completely misunderstand the statement?
No, we did not. She don't have no social media, but she got YouTube.
That has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with the modern woman ideology or mindset.
The fact that she think that fucking on the first night, getting pregnant, and then marrying him is not modern. It's the fact that she thinks that that's not modern. What is that? Traditional?
Hell no, that ain't traditional.
Even traditional hoes, they kept that shit discreet. They knew that they couldn't get pregnant, or they was gonna get stoned, or they was gonna get murdered. Something bad happened to them. Why do we keep talking like you hella modern? You sitting up here with your kids in the camera and the dude yelling at your kids, and that's modern as fuck. I'm just saying, modern.
Smoking a blunt in front of your kid, modern.
You said smoking a blunt in front of Oh goodness. Okay.
Just saying.
It's the post stuff only. I don't have any of that. So I swear I can't even twerk because one of my booty cheeks don't move. Like I swear I'm not. I work.
What?
Security boss says,
Hell.
Yeah, when she said that, I couldn't.
You was twerking all right. You didn't get 3 kids for nothing, girl.
You tooting something.
You was
Them
throwing it
upper
in the
thighs.
circle. Yeah.
Okay, so I understand trying to make light of it, and I'm just gonna say maybe she's trying to make light of it and make joke. I can't twerk because my book.
No, she in a real dark place.
But we're deflecting. We're missing the point here. And ladies, if we're doing that, stop it. Listen, Linda. Listen.
Dresses. I'm not modern, but I just know that us following is a part of the curse. But if we was right there side by side, let me tell you, Miss SB, what you got is what I would love when I find my. I ain't talking about yours. I'm saying, when I wouldn't mind.
How do you say you want something and then you literally just tell her you want the complete opposite?
I'm not receiving that same love. I can't.
What you say, Tommy?
I said she literally just explained the complete opposite of what security boss has, and then say, "I want what you have." Girl, are you not listening to security boss? She telling you she don't do none of that shit you talking about.
We all like
that's my point. She's not listening.
I just want to make this clear. I don't never sign up to help any goddamn body. She said she a Christian. She know where she can go to get her help. That's it. That's all. Now, if we're on here and we look at we the same people in these chats making jokes and all of this, finding this shit funny. The same way with all of us. I hate that when it comes time to criticize in a way that we want to, like we do on the internet. All of this is criticism. If we can criticize celebrities, what makes these regular people any different? Once you get on the line, once you get online, you are open to criticism, myself included. People laugh at shit that we don't all think is funny. This shit is funny. I didn't sign up to say, oh, let me free you. Should let me help her. She has somebody that's way more experienced and well-versed trying to help her right now, and she's not taking it.
And she ain't even listening.
And I don't give a damn.
That's true.
I mean, this is what it is. This is one of the perfect people to get through to her, other than TJ, and she don't even give a damn. She not listening. She's right. And sometimes when people are right, you have to leave them being right. Now I get it. We're supposed to be helping each other. That's a myth. Even in old days, everybody that couldn't go. You had Harriet Tubman killing the weak ones. Everybody can't go. That's just it. That's all. And from my perspective, but I'm not no advocate and I'm not nobody's leader other than my own household. That's it. Now, if God called me to be something different, then it's different. But he didn't call me to be that. So I'm going to leave that to security boss. And I'm going to watch from the side.
And if I'm giving it, it's going to eventually puff out. And I just feel like a lot of guys now, they don't even know what that means. They don't even know what it means. Like, have you seen the videos where dudes are dropping women off because they're not having sex with them after they have dinner? That's what we got to deal with right now.
Let me say this to you. What if I could teach you to have what I have? Would you want it?
Heck yeah, sure, I sure would.
You'll be willing to accept what I say, or what you will allow me to give you examples of how to have a 27-year relationship, and you'll do what I say works for me?
I will definitely be humbled and listen to everything that you have to offer me. Absolutely.
Wow. So let's read this first. Clement Gray. You know what, y'all? This glares. I tell you, my context. Anyway, he said, read 1 Peter 3. I challenge 3:1. Challenge that statement. Challenge that. Let me pull it up right now if we can. But listen, I appreciate the fact that you said you want to do that, because I think the nuclear family is the answer, right? Absolutely. And being 50-50 with a man, it keeps him from being the leader or the head that he needs to be.
Exactly. I don't believe in 50-50.
We're willing to do that.
Heck no, I know 50-50. I'll pay the other bills, water, electric. But rent.
You said you want to be equal. I thought you just said you want to be equal with the man, your partner. You said you wanted a partner.
I want a partner. Partners don't always have to go 50-50. They can take on their own responsibilities.
Listen, marriage is not okay. I'm not gonna. Okay, listen. You just told me that you would be willing to listen what I say or the example I'm giving. You don't have to listen to what I say. You will be willing to accept the examples I give in order to be a traditional woman, wife, and mother.
She's not listening at all.
Right? You'll do that.
Traditional.
And what I mean by traditional, I'm just meaning in roles. We're in modern times, so things have changed. I'm not talking about, I ain't gonna tell you to go wash no clothes on your hands or nothing like that. I'm just saying traditional meaning.
I think we've listened to enough.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't get any better from here. I think we've listened to enough, and I think, like I started this conversation, this is not necessarily an indictment on her per se, but regrettably, she is a reflection of many women out here, and a reflection of, and I'm not just going to say young women, some old ones too. Because Mr. Randolph talked about some of the things he encountered when he was dating before he met me. So, like I said, A is for accountability, D is for delusion. And there is much of it. And I really, and in as much as, like I said, we have analyzed this interview, what I said to her on Security Boss's show last night, if she wanted to reach out to me on IG, I'm still open to that. But sweetheart, you're lost. You're lost. And there are a lot of factors, I think, that may mitigate some of the things that your perspective, in a sense of, Tommy and Lucky made it very clear. I didn't think about the whole time that y'all have been together, you've been pregnant. And the fluctuation of hormones and sleep deprivation and all that. Hell, my daughter contacted me when she had my grandbaby, and she got a husband, and she was burnt out. It was too much, and she got one. So before you could even get into the rhythm of being a mom, here you got another one and another one.
Well, not even that. Before you could get in the rhythm of being a girlfriend, before you could get in the rhythm of being a wife, you was pregnant. Like it's just a fact. It's not teasing, nothing like that. Like you said y'all was together for 4 years. You have 3 kids with the oldest being 3 years old. So you literally was pregnant. What's that? 75% of the relationship. If that, because I think you got a little, maybe much. So yeah, it's probably a higher percentage than that. But basically, the majority of the relationship, you were pregnant.
Well, I don't think we're trying. None of us are forcing her to do anything. I'm not sure if I understand the statement here, but we're using this video to analyze that how we don't see ourselves, and part of the fact that she doesn't see herself is because she's not healed. There is part of the video she talks about her father not being there. Go ahead, Lucky, what you got?
I just want to address. I understand when people hear certain responses to stuff, they feel like, why are we doing this and tearing each other down? She literally got on a platform. Not only was she being disrespectful to Security Boss in many different ways, she literally got on the panel disrespecting herself, disrespecting the man that she had a baby by, disrespecting, saying men are this and their projects and this and that and the other. But we're supposed to have this sort of, oh no, why are we doing this with this? Everybody fucking judge. We get judged. Let us, anything happen that somebody shows is not perfection in your life, they're going to judge it. You should have done this. So a part of the issue is we take out shame. Shame is what makes you feel like, you know what? I know how this made me feel. I don't want to feel this again. I want to be in a different spot. I don't want this type of judgment. If we take that out and just say, you got to let her heal. Who's helping her heal? Who did God use? If she believes in Christ, she didn't go to God to get her man. She didn't go to God to get her issues. She didn't go to no type of nothing that had to do with what she said she believed in. How is she healing? Healing is an everlasting thing. It's up and down. But one thing I do know about people who are going through healing, they can speak from a place of wisdom based on where they were. Anytime that's lacking and you're speaking, trying to justify your behaviors, you not even started the process of healing. You started the process of excusing those behaviors to justify so you don't feel how bad it is. It's a defense mechanism that our minds do automatically, whether we know it or not, when we go through something traumatic. This girl is screaming of traumatic events and she's okay with it. You literally had someone up there trying to talk to her in a way to get an understanding, even privately, and she's not listening. The people around her should be helping her before she get on something such as Fight Club to fight of opinions and use herself as an example as if she got it together. So as far as we shouldn't be doing this, letting her heal, she shouldn't be on Fight Club if she's not healed. That's period. I never understand. I'm just speaking with
no. And the truth of the matter
I don't feel any way we unlock. I'm just saying.
Well, and then
you spoke all facts.
And you did. And another thing, she doesn't even really understand the fact that she needs healing. She don't. Because I came in the conversation, when I came in the conversation later, I spoke to her because I see her hurt. But she don't even realize, she's not acknowledging. And see, here's another thing. I'm speaking from a place of experience, because one of the hardest thing about accepting and trying to get healing is accepting the fact that you done made some fucked up decisions and forgive yourself anyway.
Forgive yourself.
Forgive yourself for making those decisions. And it has nothing to do with saying that, to say that you have to forgive yourself and saying that your children are a curse. It's none of that. But it's accepting the fact I did it wrong.
He said he was talking about security boss when he was talking about making her do something that she didn't want to do.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I misunderstood.
Okay, I still feel the way about the why are we mocking her? I'm going to crack jokes. That's just what it is. I crack TJ, am I not lying? When it be me, I crack jokes on my damn self. Okay, that's just how I get through stuff. Some shit don't be funny and you gotta laugh anyway. Like a bitch like fucked up right now. You gotta like talk to yourself to kind of the same way you would want somebody to talk to you. So how I like to be to anybody is somebody that's gonna say something that you know is the truth, but you're around here playing. I think security boss's message, and I do get it. If the girl said she wanted her results, so therefore, if you want my results, I'm trying to talk to you in a way of how I got my results and the mindset, but her body is driving the wheel right now. Her mind can't even get ahead of her. She's operating out of feelings, and that's what I said. It's traumatic. When you start wearing your trauma, you too far in it. The only person that can help you is when you actually get to a bad situation that you don't like, and you're like, you know what, I don't like the outcomes, because the reason most of our issues come from us. We put ourselves in fucked up situations that we don't like repeatedly, and you're gonna keep doing that because you did not learn your lesson. If she don't learn, she's gonna have another baby with the same man, possibly. That's just what it is.
I agree, and I agree. And again, like Lucky said, the turning point for me was when my life could have been ended because of the relationship that I never should have got in the first place. Ignoring the red flags, and I was 50. Okay, so it's not. And even like Lucky said, I have been to therapy in the ebbs and the flow, but I hadn't done the real work. Because if I had done the real work, I wouldn't have found myself where I was. So it is an inside job, but you have to realize that you really need help and that you ain't, and here's the challenge for her. It's not insurmountable. But it is a challenge for her and many women that are like that. When you have small kids, you got to carve out time for yourself. Girl. And that crap ain't easy. It's hard to do it when you got one.
When you're in a relationship, you gotta have. When you're in a relationship, you gotta have time for yourself. Like they've never had time where it's just them two.
Yes. And that's one of the things, like, shout out to my daughter and son-in-law. They've been together for 5 years and they've been married for 3.5, but they make time to be a couple apart.
Whoa.
Huh?
She brought Chaotic Truth up there to talk to that girl?
I just seen that.
Yeah.
So we don't like, I
Yeah.
stand corrected because I stopped watching it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, see.
I stand corrected.
Wow. No, that I ain't gonna lie to you.
I agree
That's
with
kind of foul.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Like
have done
that he's a fucking troll. Like, it
They-
is what it is. And I don't know why people aren't treating them as it. They treat them like they taking them serious. We've already figured out that dude came from I guess they call it the trolling part of YouTube. I forgot what they call it, but his name was Kevin O's. Like he the dude's a troll.
Oh, Kevin and Sales, yeah, he was in
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
But they treat him as if he's like dead serious.
I agree with you locked in. I'm sorry, I did not know that because I stopped watching it. I thought it was talking about us directly. But yeah, no, hell no. That's a joke because in itself, it's like if you do things for good content or you warm certain people up or but you kind of know what he's gonna say and you know his direction for it. You know what I'm saying? So you just kind of pick, do you want this to be a conversation that she can get something out of? Especially when Bolo came up. I didn't even see the whole thing when Bolo was speaking, but I felt like there was only limited people qualified to be up there. I would have said Bolo. I would have said Anton. You know what I'm saying? Certain people that were qualified to be up there to have that conversation.
Wow. Yeah, I saw when and I think he was the last person she brought up, and I was kind of surprised by that myself. But I will say when he started going off the rails, she kicked him off. But me personally, I
No. We know what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if she kicked him off. We know what that dude does.
Tommy, we from somewhere different. Certain shit just ain't funny.
Yeah, like and that shit, like, what? But I'm saying, like, this was like a serious show.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't.
I wasn't serious in the comments, but yeah, it was serious.
Yeah. So I'm like, the comments is the comments, but I'm saying, like, as far as that conversation between them two, it was supposed to be like a serious show. And you bring this dude up to talk to her like that? That's wild to me. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't watch all the way. Actually, right where you cut it off at is where I cut it off at. So I ain't watch all the way through. I didn't even know. That's crazy. She brought him up. That's wild.
She was like, "What?" Tommy's like, "What?" Okay. Thank you all for joining me. This has been fun.
We gotta do the baby mama one.
Oh yeah, we'll do that. The one that had who just had sex with the guy that was still at her house.
Yeah. Well, all her, she was pregnant on that screen. Can't nobody tell me different.
That was a lot. But thank y'all for joining. And again, Tyranny, if you're watching, this is not necessarily an indictment on you, but honey, this is some things that you really need to acknowledge, and hopefully you will seek help, whether from whom it's from, because again, you have 3 babies.
Yeah.
And you got to get your mind right. And not because you think it's right, but you got to listen to other people who and listen and try this. Listen without saying nothing until the very end.
I just heard this quote. It tripped me out. They said, "Hearing is a physical ability, but listening is a skill."
Absolutely. It absolutely is. Because again, hearing is a biological function.
Yeah.
I'm big on comprehension because we can
either you can hear a sound.
Yeah, for real.
You hear a sound, either you hear sounds or you don't. But listening requires interpretation, analysis, all those kinds of things. It's absolutely a skill. Okay. Thank y'all for coming. I'm gonna drop my guest down. Okay, before I do that, Lucky and Tommy, what do you got? Any last words before I drop you down?
I'll say, girl, to the Tyranny girl, I know she ain't gonna like some things that I say. That's fine. I'm young, you know what I'm saying. I'm 31, you 33, whatever smoke you want to have, I'm used to it. That's fine. I probably won't respond. But I'm just going to say, from an objective standpoint, I stand behind everything I said. I don't think that I was judging her in a way that anybody else did not think. I think that I'm just saying it how it looks. If you look trifling, you'll get trifling feedback. If you carry yourself respectfully, whether you have, it ain't even the fact that you have 3 kids. If you carry yourself respectfully, you will get respectable results. That's just, it is what it is. And I think that I would just say to focus more on getting your situation together so your kids don't wind up saying the same thing you saying about men and what they didn't have growing up. Because somebody might be saying that about your kids, especially if you have a little boy. Because if she has a little boy that's raised by her in this mindset throughout the rest of his life, that is just a tragedy. And that's just how I feel. So do the work or don't. You know what I'm saying? I say do the work if you want to get the best results, but please stop trying to cover up your mistakes by saying the Bible. I just wish people would stop doing that personally. And I'm ready for more reactions.
No, I just think that like they say, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, and I just think she needs to do a lot of listening. I don't even think that I'm not one to judge. I don't think she's a bad person. I don't do all of that. I just think that she's young, and I think she just probably need to listen and maybe something to resonate with her. Um, but and I kind of agree with we don't like when I'm saying that she needs to talk to somebody that's really qualified in dealing with something like that, and probably some therapy too. But and I think just that one thing that we kind of brought up, I don't know if that's something that if she reflects on her situation, she might not have realized that your entire relationship with this man, you pretty much were pregnant, and that could be a big reason why it didn't work out or whatever. I don't know the inside details of her relationship or whatever, but I just know that's a huge thing to be trying to deal with if you're in a relationship and you're pretty much pregnant the entire time. And that's not judging, that's just a fact. I got 3 kids, and I know the changes that women go through when they get pregnant. So to deal with that in the entire relationship is a lot. But outside of that, I wish her the best. I got no problems with her, nothing like that. I was on the panel with her once. But that's it. Good night, TJ.
Good night, and thanks for stopping by, Tom. Appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
And to that point, I don't have a problem. I don't know the young lady. Again, I was just making an assessment off of what I saw. And I know what it's like to be a single mom. I know what it's like to be raised by one. But I also know what it's like to be a woman who has suffered with trauma, undiagnosed mental health issues. I'm not saying that's the case for her. That's the case it was for me. And the things that I had that were unresolved in me, I had to work through those things while raising my daughter. And even though I was raising my daughter, she still had, those things still impacted her, that she's even shared since I've had this channel. So the way I started this broadcast talking about mosaic is a form of art made of broken pieces. It's okay to have broken pieces, but we got to do the work to put those colorful broken pieces together that can make us a beautiful and unique form of art. But we have to do that by owning our mistakes, not justifying them. Forgiving ourselves for the choices that we've made. Listening to those who've walked down a path not necessarily identical to ours, but similar to ours. Go to work through the father issues. I had them. Because now the focus is not about us anymore. We got to carve out some time for us, but the focus is not us anymore. And I will submit to you, Miss Tyranny, and those who may be in her similar situation. Use this time to get to know you. It's going to be hard with 3 children, no doubt. but it's not insurmountable. Because you need to know you before you get in any other relationship, because you take you everywhere you go. And like I said, I had to do the work to get better for me. And I was much older than you at the time. Because if I hadn't done the work to be a better person for me, I wouldn't have been able to recognize Mr. Randolph, because I wouldn't have known what I was worth and what I was worth so I could give it to somebody else, because I didn't know. So you got to start there. Because nobody else is responsible for your joy and contentment. I ain't going to say happiness. I'm going to say joy and contentment. Nobody's responsible for that. But until you know who you are, what you will and will not do, what you should and should not do, act on that. When you're accountable for the choices that you make. Yeah, I messed up. I'm learning from, I'm moving on. You will continue to repeat the same thing. And now going back to your children, they're watching. They're watching. So again, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. It was fun. I thank you all for the engagement. I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate it. So shout out to Nisi Poo Lucky Maree. I'm loving my intro. It's awesome. And until the next time, ciao for now.